When you were, I was watching that.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
have your eyes ever closed something that you're going to think
No, you normally get it right.
Your eyes aren't making any decisions. You're making decisions. You turn away because you don't like seeing something. You don't turn away and then you're going, what was that? And your eyes going, you don't want to know. You do not know what you don't know.
I'm just saying anyway.
Ooh, lovely pair of tits here.
I just mean noise pollution. It's the one thing you can't escape.
It seems to me, from what you've said so far, is that these things happen to you and you feel wronged, but you either want to close your eyes and ears so you can't tell it's happening, but it's carrying on, or move away from it so you're not a victim anymore, but it's carrying on. But the thing about law and order is you don't have to take it. You don't have to walk away. You can do something about it. You can combat being wronged. And I suppose we associate that with justice. It's not just punishment or retribution. It's justice. You want to know that you're valued.
This is a big issue, isn't it, Rick? Is one life more important than another? If you've transgressed in a terrible way, you've murdered, raped, whatever, and I say I'm going to put you to death because you do not belong in this society. You are too transgressive. What's to stop me? Why is that wrong? Why is that a morally wrong thing to do?
Well, this is an interesting argument, isn't it? Whether capital punishment. Now, I don't agree with execution, state execution of someone, whatever they've done, for many reasons. But the main one is, I don't think you can have a state that shows that sort of violence against an individual, whatever they've done, and expect people to accept the very code and morality of treating people equally and not showing violence towards them.
Karl, where do you stand on the tricky issue of capital punishment? You've given it some serious thought, I imagine.
So what you're asking me, like, should he be on death row?
Well, should someone flip the switch, send him to his death in the electric chair?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Least considered.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a little bit of flicker behind the eyes. I don't know what. Well, just take us through the mental process that you arrived at the yes with there. So you know, I remember because there was quite a brief gap there.
I just was thinking, it's not a nice job if you work in there and you've got to flick the switch.
Right.
But I was wondering if it's possible to just do it so it's linked up to someone's switch.
What do you mean?
When they put the lights on something. So it's like sometime tonight when the sun goes down and people start putting the lights on in their house, it could happen. But we don't know what household, they might be away on holiday. So you might get an extra 2 weeks. But at least that way, because for me, the worst...
Why did you say that?
This is not... The question I asked was whether... We were talking about the morality of whether you put someone to death.
But he was thinking about...
literally the practicality of flipping the switch.
Well, no, I think that aren't you talking about the integrity of the person who knows or knows not that they put someone to death, like a firing squad, like what they used to do sometimes in the First World War when they had 6 riflemen, but 5 were blanks and one had and no one knew
if they were the person that killed them.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, you do agree that someone should be put to death for a terrible crime, do you?
You've got to have something there to stop them people who don't care, haven't you? Nature's done it in a way with bees. They've gone, we'll give you a weapon, but if you use it, you die. And that's like the bee. So they're worried, they're going to go,
But that's what we do, won't we? We have people saying, 1, you can't do that. That's step 1. Here's the law. Don't do it.
There's a lot of people who go, I'm not bothered about the law. I'm not bothered about annoying people.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
for them, at the end of the scale, you've got the chair, and you stick the wires on their head, and they'll fry your head. And they go, oh God, I don't want that.
That doesn't always work, does it, with being put to death? Because as a deterrent, most of the crimes aren't just crimes of gain with that. Some of them are crimes of passion where a deterrent doesn't count because you see red and you go crazy and you're angry and you kill someone. I think a lot of those crimes, the deterrent isn't relevant. You know, things like armed robbery maybe, where it's a risk, what can I get versus what my crime, maybe then it might be a deterrent. But then of course, if you start to get a capital punishment for crimes that aren't murdering someone, then that thing brings in you might as well murder them, because then you've got more chance of getting away with it. So it's very delicate what you make people be killed for.
You've made an interesting and reasoned argument there, Rick. I'm looking forward to hearing the riposte.
Right. When I was younger, I used to nick Mars bars.
Okay.
Right. Now, I did that then, and I knew that even if I get caught, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to prison over that. But it was worth nicking because the Mars bar, they were like 45 pence.
Sure.
When you're a kid, you can get a lot of chewing nuts for that.
Chewing
I
nuts?
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they like caramel covered in chocolate. Last ages. Quite hard.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you shut the chocolate off and then you've got to chew them until they're... Yeah, I know, yeah.
Now, I could afford them. I had 10 pence a bag there. They'd last me sort of a morning. A Mars bar was a proper treat. There's a lot going on in there. Not chocolate, not caramel.
Yeah.
Like I said, 45 pence.
Yeah.
So, to me...
That was like an advert that went on just at the end. They started off good. They go, this guy's good. He's, you go there, Mars bars, a lot in it. It's like, okay, keep going. Yeah, it's got caramel. It's like, yeah. But it's 45 pence, which is too fucking much, so fucking nick it, you got.
But when I was younger, that was worth a risk. Because I knew that I'd be getting something worth 45 pence for free.
You weren't going to get the electric
And I wasn't going to get done. So the stakes were high, the risk were low.
No, wait. You mean the stakes were high, the risk were low?
I think he's just trying to sound cool.
The stakes weren't high. The stakes are what can happen to you, and the risk. The stakes and the risk are the same. The risk is the stake, okay? Yeah, unless you're nicking meat from a butcher's, then the stakes are high and the risk is low. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but what you meant was the game was high.
The game was high.
Yeah.
The game was high.
Yeah, the risk was low.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't, was it? Because 45p isn't a lot unless you're a kid.
It is when you're a kid.
It is when you're a kid.
Because I was getting
but then
50
surely
pence.
getting caught for nicking a Mars bar's higher when you're a kid.
No, it's not. Look, you see, most of the time, I didn't want to say which shop it was that I nicked it from, but it's where I did my paper round. Now, the thing is...
So it's nicking from your own boss?
But listen, I used to wake him up.
That
I
is
helped him
terrible.
run. No, because
That is terrible.
This is awful.
That
Go
is-
on, hang on. I want
that's
to hear.
really
No, I want to hear him
bad.
rationalise his
Because that
terrible
sweet
crime.
old man who used to give...
He's not an old man. I used to go round and
Sweet
wake him
old
up,
man.
right? He hated running that place.
Right.
If anything, I'd say I was his best asset.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
Because I
You
don't know
were
what...
nicking from him. You were stealing from him.
I don't know how much he made on papers, but he'd probably go 45p profit. Hold on.
They got their papers really early because I got up early.
Yeah.
I used to go round to the
Well, you
shop.
know, Mars
half past
Day helps you work, rest, and steal.
four. So I used to go round there, wake him up. He'd be like, "What are you doing round here so early?"
Don't know, I'm just hungry. What? I'm just hungry for work.
No.
Oh, well, good boy. I'm just going to turn away a minute while you stand there in front of the confectionery. I'll turn away now, and I'll look back now, and here's the papers. And thanks so much, Carl, because you're a lovely
It's like
kid.
an honourable and trustworthy
Yeah, I can't
guy.
really afford to.
I've been betrayed so many times. That's why
Yeah.
my lovely wife's no longer with me. You know, she ran off with Ken.
Yeah, but I mean, at least I've got a friend.
You've got one young
You turn
friend.
up early, oh, God, it's brilliant. Oh, and Carl, keep a lookout, because...
Someone's been nicking Mars bars.
Yeah, I know it's not you because I trust you implicitly. And by the way, Carl, why don't you take a Mars bar for free? Oh, thanks.
Well, that never happened.
All right.
So I'm getting 50 pence a day for delivering papers, but I needed the energy.
Right.
Now, if I spent my 50p on the Mars bar,
Yeah.
5p profit a day is not worth it.
No.
So help yourself. I knew I was doing a good job for him.
No, so help yourself. That doesn't follow. So help yourself. Get another job, leave that job, negotiate a pay rise. Not help yourself. That doesn't go. That's ridiculous. Where does it stop? If you worked in a nuclear power plant, well, they're not paying me much. Have a little bit of uranium.
A lovely little bit of uranium.
Yeah. I do.
That's a strange analogy, Rick. Some lad straight from a bloke nicking stuff from work. She works at the power plant, he's having himself a bit of uranium. What's he doing with the uranium?
Well, you know, Mars a day and all that, and that's for energy, and so's uranium. But more energy than a Mars bar. Yeah, I never nicked because I couldn't bear the shame. Even as a kid, I knew that was shameful. I want a clear conscience. I want to go to bed and sleep at night. And I do, Carl. I haven't got restless leg syndrome or people shouting out my window. So I sleep at night because I've got a clear conscience. And that, to me, is what guides me.
Well, it's like when I first moved to London and I was travelling, when I was living in Oval, I was travelling across London all the way to Shepherd's Bush every day. That's a big, long, 45-minute, hour-long journey. And there were not barriers at either end in those days. So I could get on the tube at one end and get off the other end and no one ever checked my ticket. And I was buying tickets every day for months and months and months, and it was starting to seem to me weird. It was like, well, no one's ever checking this. So, of course, I'm a little bit lazy. Maybe I stopped buying tickets occasionally, taking the trip back and forth, boom, 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 boom. And then for maybe a month, travelled without a ticket. And then I was coming up, kind of got a bit blasé, honestly, coming up in Oval Station. Someone steps up and says, "Excuse me, can I see your ticket?" And that's terrible because when you're in your mid-20s, it's not like a kid anymore.
No.
I mean, you are an adult. You've made a reasoned decision there. You can't plead ignorance. So I said, "I'm sorry. Yeah, let me see your ticket, please?" I went, yeah. I was looking through because for some reason I used to keep a lot of old tickets. And I was looking through, pretending to look for my ticket. I went, I don't know what's happened to it, but I did actually. I bought one at Shepherd's Bush, and they went, okay. If we phone up Shepherd's Bush and there's no evidence of you buying a ticket, you can go to prison. I'm going to ask you again, have you got a ticket? No.
No. Embarrassing.
It was unbelievable.
Being told off is worse. It's worse,
Well,
isn't
it's because there's people walking by and then I'm being told off by a woman who's at least a foot and a half shorter than me, wearing a uniform. And it was so embarrassing. It was so cripplingly embarrassing.
Yeah.
Last weekend, have you got a ticket? No, I haven't. No. So you like it? Yes, I did, yeah. Okay, we're going to have to take your details. But honestly, being told, and that's it, there's the shame. Maybe it's a good bit of upbringing. Unlike Karl, obviously, who's a man who's got no guilty conscience at all about the whole Mars bar incident. But whereas you and I, Rick, were raised obviously by better parents, and we are, it's been drummed into us,
How much was that train journey?
We do feel that guilt, and that's maybe one of the reasons why we don't transgress. Because this is an interesting, we talked earlier about the murder thing. Well, of course, there's that sort of idea which has often been used in films. In a godless universe, and if you do not feel guilt, what's to prevent you from committing a murder? If you can get away with it, if you could commit a murder, let's say you wanted to, and you could get away with it, there is no one to judge you in a godless universe, and you can live with the guilt, what's to stop you doing it?
Well, I'd just like to say now, it is a godless universe. As an atheist, there is no God, and I'm a good person, not because I'm going to get rewarded for it in heaven, because that's the way I want to live my life in a society that treats people like that. So a lot of the laws of the land, not just in the country, in many countries, are from the Bible. I mean, that kicked it off. I mean, there was laws before, obviously, and there were different gods before this one was invented. But let's have a look at the Ten Commandments. I think that lays down most of the. A lot of them are good rules of thumb. We've got to go along with them. They certainly didn't invent those rules of thumb. I think that mankind were adhering to most of them before it was handed down. So let's have a look at them. There's a website here, a Baptist Christian website forum, and this guy, maybe I shouldn't say his name. I mean, he's put it up there for public, but I don't want to embarrass him. He says, brethren and sistren.
What?
Yeah, so
Never heard that before.
I've learned a word.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters.
Could have said that, but he's not.
Yeah, he could have said people.
Could have said people, could have said folks, say folks.
It has come to my attention that not only are many of our members unable to correctly recite all the Ten Commandments, it's probably a big problem. I don't know, he goes around testing them going, number 3, get out. Go and learn it. But those who can remember, even a few, invariably get the sequence wrong.
Is that important?
Oh, well it is. He says, let me set the record straight. The commandments do not come in a random sequence, with the exception of 7th commandment, an obvious anomaly.
Why?
Well, he reckons that thou shalt not commit adultery at number 7 should really be 6th in terms of severity. Let me explain. The commandments appear in order of severity.
Right.
The harsher the punishment, the closer to the top. I hope this handy colour chart will make the intrinsic beauty of God's word more comprehensible to all. So this is it. He's laid it out. Commandment number 1: thou shalt have no other gods before me. Okay? Alert level, severe. Punishment, genocide.
Whoa.
Entire cities with men, women, children and animals must be killed. So that's a lovely, nice Christian view there. So if you worship another god before the right God, he doesn't name him by name. He just uses the term God.
Sure.
But there's only one, according to this.
Genocide.
Yeah. Anyone who worships another god, genocide. Entire cities with men, women, children, and animals must be killed. I don't know what the animals have ever done. But yeah, okay. So that's number one. That's the most severe, worshipping the wrong god.
Sure.
Okay. Number two, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Okay. No graven images.
That's I assume so. Druids, devil worshippers, anything like that, isn't it?
Well, I think it's also just. I suppose it's kind of images that mock or degrade the Almighty.
Okay. Severe.
What's the punishment there?
Genocide.
Genocide again. Wow.
That's his favourite there. Genocide. Entire cities with men, women, children, and animals must be killed.
What worries me is we're a couple of smart guys and we're not entirely sure what that commandment means.
No.
So we could go, but we could accidentally.
Yeah. 3. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Okay. I assume God made these, did he? He's used the first 3 talking about himself here. Alert level high. Capital punishment.
Capital punishment.
No. You're just going to be. Yeah, you're just going to be put to death there. Not all your friends and family and dogs.
Sure.
Leave the budgie. No. Number 4. Remember the Sabbath day. Keep it holy. High.
So alert level high.
High, yeah. Capital punishment. Death.
Capital punishment again.
Yeah.
You forget the holy day.
Well, what makes me laugh is that sometimes you can be walking along and you go, all right, all right, I'm just going to. I keep thinking it's Monday. You what? You forgot it's Sunday? No, I just found out. Death. Number 5. Honour thy father and thy mother. High.
Okay, so and if you don't honour your mother?
Capital punishment.
Capital punishment.
Lot of death. Lot of death.
Again,
at the moment.
Isn't it? Yeah. So strict.
Yeah. We haven't even got to thou shalt not kill yet, and yet he's killed everyone so far.
Wow, jeez.
Now 7, he's put at number 6 here. He's put them out of order, 6 and 7, because he thinks this is higher. Thou shalt not commit adultery. High. Capital punishment.
Capital punishment again.
Now the fellow who did this website, he's put thou shalt not commit adultery above thou shalt not kill. God had it the other way around. God had thou shalt not kill, but this fella, I reckon his wife played away.
Right.
So he went, right, I'm putting them in a different order. Because before, let's see, number 6, he's put thou shalt not kill, alert level, elevated, capital punishment in some cases. So if you murder someone, you can sometimes be killed. If you commit adultery, always death.
Get killed.
So I think he's made that he can have his wife put to death, right? Or he could kill her, but maybe get off with it.
Right.
That's why he's done that. Number 8, thou shalt not steal, guarded, excessive fines. Only in rare cases capital punishment.
Oh, just excessive fines?
Yeah, excessive. Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbour. So basically lying low. Despisement and scorn.
Is that the punishment?
Yeah, for lying. Yeah, despisement and scorn. Yeah. Thou shalt not covet, really. Don't try and get stuff. Don't be jealous of stuff and try and get it. Despisement and scorn.
Despisement and scorn, sure.
I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to go down these, see which ones I commit. Thou shalt have no other god. I don't have any god, so I haven't broken that one. 2, graven images. No, I don't have any graven. I don't accept there's a god. 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord. Again, I don't take his name in vain because I don't believe he exists, so I'm fine there. Remember the Sabbath. I always remember Sunday. I know I've got a calendar and everything, so I haven't done that. Honour thy father. Yeah, I do that. Never commit adultery. Don't do that. No, never killed anyone. Don't steal. I don't lie, and I don't covet. So I am an amazing Christian.
Pretty clear. Yeah, you're a pretty clean living guy.
Wow. There you go.
Well, whereas, I don't know, Karl, have you ever... What's your view?
I still open like post. That isn't for me.
Let's see that's on there. That's opening other people's post, alert level, low, punishment, embarrassment. You have to walk along with your trousers around your ankle, saying I'm a div.
Why do you open other people's mail?
It's just a fella called Bruce who he's the bloke who used to own the flat before me, and I don't know. I started off and I thought, well, should I pass it on? You know, because when people move, it's a lot of messing about tracking down where they've gone. So I thought, should I just leave them for a bit? And I collected some for a bit, and then there was one that sort of said, "This is important" on the front of it. So I thought, how important is it? So I opened it.
What was it? Was it important?
Not really, it was from the tattooists.
What did they say?
It was just something
They
about
said, "Oh, we used the AIDS needle on you. Can you come in for a little test?"
So I just started. I just kind of thought, oh, I'll start opening it, having a look, and it was weird because do you know like how you get fed up of being yourself?
No, but go on.
Well,
I'm intrigued.
Of course.
No, you can just have days where you're like,
I wish I was
going
Brad
on?
Pitt, yeah.
Well, you know,
Bruce Willis in your case,
well,
isn't it?
well, this bloke was Bruce. So I just go, oh, let's see what, you know, if I was Bruce,
Yeah.
would I be happier being him? Do you know, like how I've said to you before, you never know if you don't feel well because they can't put you in someone else's body to sort of compare.
No, most people can just use their imagination.
Yeah, sure.
So I sort of think,
They don't actually need to physically go into someone else's body to understand that.
Yeah,
it's
like
terrible.
Ghost. Yeah, exactly.
so I think, well, would I enjoy being Bruce more?
Sure.
And what have you gleaned from Bruce? He's got a tattoo. We know that.
There wasn't that much. So it was mainly busy at Christmas. A lot of Christmas cards, which were good because I didn't get
Yeah.
that
Oh,
many.
yeah.
So you put up these Christmas, you put up these Christmas cards.
What, you had Christmas cards hanging in your flat to have a lovely Christmas, Bruce? Auntie Jean. That's
Hang on a
crazy.
minute, because when you put them on your mantelpiece or your shelf or whatever, you're not looking at them every day. It's just a picture of Father Christmas. It doesn't matter who it's to or from.
Why have them up at all?
Why not just buy some
Make it a bit Christmassy.
You can just buy some blank cards and put them up.
Use them every
No,
year.
I don't have to. Bruce has got a lot of friends. It was more awkward, right? Because the bloke downstairs, because I used to always collect the stuff for Bruce, I got talking to a bloke who's in the same block, and like he used to see me picking stuff up for Bruce. He'd always say, you know, all right, Bruce.
No.
You've never told them that you're not Bruce?
No point.
In the pub I used to drink in, the landlord got it into his head that I was Steve, right? And
You don't mean me?
No,
You just mean called
exactly. Yeah, no. It's just before I met you. It's like 25 years ago, and he called me Steve, and it got to the point I couldn't correct him.
Yeah.
Because it would have been embarrassing for him, and so after about 2 years, we were playing cards, and someone said Ricky, and he went, "Who's Ricky?" And I went, "Ricky," and I just went red. He went, "What do you mean, Ricky?" I went, "Yeah, that's my name." He went, he said, "What do you mean, fucking Ricky?" I went, "Ricky," and I looked at him, "What do you mean?" "Steve." I went, "No, it's not Steve." He said, "Well, I've been calling you Steve for 2 years." I went, "Have you?" Like denying I didn't call me Steve. Oh, this guy, right?
But hang on, did he? What happened? What was the fallout from it?
He's just sort of like, he was a bit confused.
Yeah.
And then I think he still called me Steve for a little while, but sometimes it was Ricky, sometimes it was Steve. It was fine, right? But this guy, right? He was a bank robber. Okay. Yeah, he'd done 17 years in all.
In prison?
In prison, yeah. And I was a bit scared of him. I'm fascinated. He was fine. He was done now. He'd gone straight, totally straight, and he was running this pub. And I remember once he'd tell me stories about it, and he'd go on about his. He did it with 4 people, and they all did time. And he said, but you wouldn't recognise them now. He said they are the most respectable people you'd ever seen. He said, yeah, they're just lovely businessmen, higher sophistication, and said you'd never guess, right? And then one day he came over to me, it was a busy pub. He went, Rick, Steve. He said, you know those geezers I did the crime with, the other 3? Yeah, he said, they are in the pub here now. See if you can guess who they are. I said, you'll never guess who they are. I looked around. I saw 3 blokes in sheepskin coats with tinted hair, covered in gold sovereigns and gold necklaces. And I went, no, who? He went, those 3. I went, you are joking. You are fucking joking. That was his idea of total sophistication. They had tinted beards, but they looked like fat Bee Gees covered in gold and sheepskin. It was unbelievable. I went, oh, that is a surprise. That is a surprise. I thought they were barristers. Oh, unbelievable.
I was always terrified of being mugged when I first moved to London. And you remember, Rick, I had a wallet with all my stuff in, and then I took to carrying a fake wallet. It's lovely. Which I had some sort of old library cards and DVD cards, video shop cards and stuff. And like I put a £5 in there, And then I got really anxious because I thought, what if I hand over my fake wallet, and he goes, well, it's a fake wallet. Okay, then I got to hand over the real wallet, but maybe he also punishes me, takes it out on me because he's angry. So then I took to carrying a second fake wallet. So I spent about 2 months. I was thinking, what if I do give him the fake wallet, and then he just starts using the library cards and the video cards, and he could run up a huge fine.
Yeah.
I'd be in the same position. I would be not giving the money.
Yeah. Also, I don't believe you'd ever put a fiver in the fake wallet. You wouldn't be willing to. Yeah. I had a run-in with crime. I was ripped off.
Really?
In a big sting operation a few years ago. I was at home and I was rushing out, and the phone went. And it was my bank. Yeah. And I went, is that Mr. Baines? I went, yeah. He went, have you recently bought £200,000 worth of gold bullion? And I went, Jane, have we bought 200, so what? Have we bought £200,000 worth of gold bullion? No, of course not. Oh, no. Well, someone's taken that money out of your bank account, fortunately, and they've purchased gold. And I went, right, okay. They went, we'd like your permission to get the CID involved. I went, well, yeah. I said, of course. I said, but hold on. You know it wasn't me then. So do I get the money back? And they went, yeah, all the money will be put back into your bank account. I went, fine. I said, yeah. I basically went, yeah, fill your boots. And they went, can you come down? I went, oh, yeah. So I arranged the time. I went down to the bank. There was the CID there waiting. And what it turned out was sort of an inside job. Someone who did some sort of random checking of facts. They phone you up and say you're happy with the service. They put down the phone and went, oh, you never guess who I spoke to? That Ricky Gervais.
Right.
And someone overheard. They were involved. They got a payoff from Mr. Big somewhere that was out of the country. And
isn't there more? I mean, you can't just, even if you work in a bank, you can't just walk off with cash, can you? There must have been a more elaborate.
Yeah, they did a transaction, didn't they? They okayed the transaction like it was me for these people, and then these people bought gold with it, and now all they have to do is go and collect the gold. Now this is the tricky bit. So what they don't know is now the bank know that it's not me collecting it. Right. So whoever turns up for the gold, they said they'll probably just be, they might even be innocent couriers.
Yes.
But then we get, the go-betweens or whatever.
And where is gold bullion kept?
I don't know.
It's just.
I suppose you go and get it from a vault somewhere, right. and take it away and take delivery of it. I don't know if it literally changes hands or not. So what they need is obviously my passport. So they got the people. So it was going to go to court. Okay, I didn't have to go to court, but I had to have a meeting with the CID for all the details and take that it wasn't me and all that.
Yeah.
So the funny thing was, I'm there with the CID man, and I said, well, how did they think they were going to get away with it? And they said, well, they turn up with a fake passport of yours, show the ID, and I walk away. I went, right, okay. And they said they get a passport from either a dead man, or they steal one, and they replace it with your details and your picture. And the CID man started smirking. Right? I went, what? He said, well, the picture they used was this one. And he showed me this fake passport. And I tell you what, I was laughing. Then he started chuckling, and we laughed for about 10 minutes, because all they did was they cut out the picture on the first series of The Office from the DVD. So it's a picture of David Brent sitting behind a desk with that little smug look on his face. That's my passport and this thing. So, I mean, they might have got caught anyway.
Yeah, it's nice to know that even such, elaborate operations as this, it still comes down to just idiocy, criminal incompetence.
Who was left in charge of getting a photo? Yeah. Where they go, Dave, you're doing so and so and so. You're Julie. You're on the inside. Dave, Bertie, can you get a picture?
Yes.
You can get a photograph of Ricky Gervais, can you?
Yes.
Right. Okay. What are you going to HMV for? What are you going to HMV for?
I knew we shouldn't have recruited someone who looks exactly like Bernard Breslau. It's unnerved me.
Carl, have you ever been con?
There's always someone doing well out of me. There's always someone, if they're a little bit short, you'll go around to Pilkington.
But 3 or 4 times a day. Sometimes I call him up and he goes, right, the washing machine's broken, they came round, they've done this, right, they couldn't fix it, but they had to call it, charge 90 quid. I called the bank and said, no, they can't do that. Turns out they can't do it. It's like a string of things where it looks like Carl's handing out money, like the end of a comic book. He goes, that's for the broken window, and there's for my sausages. It's like a queue of people taking money off Carl.
I'll be normally alright if I'm face to face with him.
Really?
Yeah, if I can sort of, if I can go in a place. But a lot of stuff now is done on the phone.
Yeah.
you know, it's all phone, isn't it? Because no one's, it's all over the world where you're speaking to these people.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone the other day about the alarm system, right, in the flat. Called them up, thought, oh, it would be good to get this going again. You know, have an alarm system, I haven't had one for years. Might as well use it, it's there. So called them up and said, yeah, there's an alarm system in this flat I bought. I want to get it going again. What's the situation? So they took a load of details and stuff, and they said, right, what you have to do, it's 400 quid a year. I said, what? I said, 400 quid a year. I said, what's that for? I said, if the alarm goes off, we can guarantee that a couple will be there in like a minute and a half. I said, I don't want that. I said, I'm just happy with the alarm just going off. I'll give the keys to the neighbour. No, you can't do that. You've got to have this way. I said, 400? I said, I thought alarms are meant to stop you being robbed. Did you what, sir? Don't understand sarcasm when you're talking to them people.
Yeah, just to get out your system, when you know you've been conned, you just laugh in the face of adversity. I remember it was a couple of days before Christmas, I was going away, but I had a dripping tap and it started dripping more. So there was nothing I could do. The maintenance people were away, the caretakers were, I couldn't get in. And so I called out an emergency plumber. I knew this was going to cost, but bloke came round. Honestly, he made you look smart. He was like one of those kids who looked like a lumpy child. He was probably 20, but he just looked like, you know what I mean? They'd scaled up a sort of 13-year-old big-faced lad, right? And he came in, and he didn't know how to stop it. He couldn't unscrew it. He went, I don't know what to do. I called my brother. He's there. Just I said, Bob, what can I do? He said, you could crush the pipe and then get it cut and fixed when you go. I said, great idea. So I said to the plumber, I said, can we crush the pipe? Oh yeah, I'll go and get a tool. We went down the band, came up with this thing, like a fat sort of little pair of pliers. He wasn't strong enough. So I went, I had a go. I said, well, we both do it. So we both put our hands on it, and we managed to crush the pipe, flatten the pipe, cut it off. He put a little thing on the end of it so it wouldn't leak. Right? I went, great. I said, how much is that? He went, 180 quid. So I went, right, okay. So I wrote him out a cheque for 180 quid. And I thought, oh, there was a bit of sarcasm. So it wasn't his idea. I helped him do it. I went, how much was that tool? He went, about £5. I went, that's paid for itself, isn't it? Silence. He went, yep, just nothing. Tough crowd, right? Of course. Right? So I signed the cheque. He went, oh, he said, I forgot to charge you for the little washer on the end. I went, how much is that? He went, £2.50. I went, can I give you that in cash? He went, yeah. I went, there you go, there's the £2.50 for the washer on the end, and there's the £180. And he went, and that was it. I didn't even get a little chuckle. He didn't even think. He should have gone, well, let's split that, because we both did that. Yeah, that's 90 quid each. I go, okay, that's well, brilliant, mate, cheers. Here's a Christmas bonus. I have a fascinating tale to tell you, Karl. I think you'll be intrigued. When I do junkets for films in America or Toronto Film Festival, I was assigned a security. And I've had security before. I often have security, they just sort of get you in and out of the car, and usually just to control sort of autograph hunters and things. But this time I was given a security, and he came in a suit. He was about 30, he looked quite unassuming. I thought he was from just a security firm, and there was a couple of them. And first of all, they were talking to each other, and I thought, wow, the stakes are higher here. I don't know why. And they drove us to the hotel, and there was loads of people going to the hotel. I mean, much bigger stars than me. You know, there was Ed Norton and George Clooney, and they were going in and out. And he goes, we can go past these. And he called ahead, and he knew everyone. He just knew everyone. And we went down in the car park. We were met by another security guard in the hotel that let us go past everyone. I mean, Clooney's having to queue up and sign. And I'm thinking, this is weird. And I was feeling a bit guilty because I was there to promote the film. And I think, this security guard's so good, I'm never going to ever have to pump into anyone. It was amazing. And he was there the next day, and he took us to the junket and back, and he put us on the thing. And then it turned out that he was actually LAPD, who was doing this for celebrities because he earned more money. And then I found out he had a gun, so I can't come in the airport with you, I can't take my gun. So, he's armed. So I've got a security who's an APD who's armed, and I'm fascinated. Now I'm fascinated. This man is walking around with me with a little earpiece, talking to everyone. He seems to know everyone, and he's got a gun. I think, oh, this is amazing. Then one night, he said, he dropped me off at the hotel, and he said, I've actually been called, I've got to go on a mission, they need my help. I said, really, what is it? He said, it's a hostage situation. He said, and I'm also SWAT. So now this is amazing. He's now officially the coolest man I've ever met in my life. So he goes off. Then I'm thinking, I'm worried about him. I was talking to Jane, I was thinking, wow, he does this, he gets this extra cash, he's risking his life, and now he's going to a hostage situation. And I was thinking, oh God, he's just a silent hero. So next day he comes, I said, how was it? He said, I was fine. He said, I just turned up. He said, I had to do it in my suit. He said, because I'm the negotiator.
What?
So now he's an armed security guard, he's an LAPD, he's special SWAT, and he's one of 9 negotiators in LA. We're in LA now. We'd come from Toronto, went via New York in LA. So I went, oh my God. And I just asked him questions for 2 hours. So the first thing that happens is, so someone runs in with a hostage. This guy was just a kid who was 19. He'd done a robbery. He'd panicked and he'd run away. The police were after him. He ran in and he took his kid with him. He was just a 3-year-old kid. Okay. That often happens. Most hostages that people take are their family, because it's all they've got. And they go, I'm going to kill my wife or my kid and that. And they don't mean it. They're not going to. But they need a hostage. They've got a gun. So he talks to them and he says things to them like, you know, you didn't mean this to happen, did you? They went, no. He said they got out of hand. It just got out of hand. And he has to let them trust him, because they've got a hatred for the police, of course. They don't trust the police. No. And the first thing he does is call the phone company and say, what's the number of this address? He goes, change it by 1 digit. So now only he can call that number, because of course you can't have an engaged signal. If they haven't got a phone, they have to throw a phone through a window. So they've got to have contact with this guy. I said, what happens if this guy says, you're never going to get me out, I'm going to kill all the hostages? He said, then my sole purpose is to get him to stand near a window. And I went, wow. Now apparently, there's a police marksman ready, of course, if they think they've lost him. The important thing is you've got to take him out, because you've got to protect the innocent. So how they shoot him is they shoot him in the top lip, and it takes out the brainstem, so there's no reflex. And I'm just being absolutely, I'm captivated. What do you think of that, Karl, as a job? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once you've done one, though, it's like any job, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
Once you've done one.
Yeah,
Not impressed?
Boring. Yeah.
No, it's good.
Could you do it? Do you reckon you could do it? Do you reckon you could negotiate someone out of a hostage situation?
Well, I
With your
think in one of
dulcet
them
tones?
things, there's nothing you can do. It's like, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, because...
Well, it
you
does.
did your bit. No, it's like being a vet, isn't it?
Not really. Not really, because that's ridiculous thing to say.
It's nothing like being like a vet.
No, it is. What I mean is, you're expected to make the little kitten live.
No, there's loads of it. Because I was saying, so he says, I need a car by 5 o'clock, or I'm going to kill someone. He then makes sure that he doesn't kill anyone, but he makes sure that car doesn't come till 5:15. Even if it's there, he keeps going, it's on its way, because then the hostage knows that he's not in control, really. Even if it's as easy as saying, I want my wife here, and he can get her there at 5, he makes sure she doesn't turn up till 5:20.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that that's just absolutely fascinating. The psychology of it is just amazing.
But he's not bothered, is he? If
He
it's
is
15
bothered.
minutes late.
He is, because he really takes he empathises with these guys, and he says, no, you've got to understand.
No,
He
but the
says,
fella in the house with the gun,
yeah.
he's not going anywhere. 15 minutes either side doesn't matter. Well, why is he in a rush?
I don't think Karl's getting how
Not sure he
important
is.
how
No,
amazing
but
he
you
is.
said
Yeah.
they make the car 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
He's getting his car. That
Yeah.
bloke's not in a rush.
He's never going to get in the car, is he? That's the other thing as well, because once a bloke said to him, I need a car, and he just went, where are you going to go? And the bloke went, forget that. He has to make them forget their deadlines and their demands. so soon it doesn't matter. And he has to get in their head. But to do that, he says that he has to empathise with them to a certain extent. He has to understand why they're doing it, to talk to them and go, yeah, you've had a bad day. That would send anyone. But he has to get their trust. Carl, try and talk me out. You think it's that easy? Right, I've got a hostage situation, right? Done a crime. I've run in the building. They go, there's only one person we can ask for. Get me Karl Pilkington. Okay, you turn up. Right, what's your question?
You've asked for me to deal with this?
No. The police know that you're their top man. And there's a guy in here, he's got a gun, he's got a hostage, okay? He's just done a crime. They don't know what to do, okay? Right, you turn up. What's your first question to them?
I'm talking to you.
Well, no, you've got to assess...
I'd say, right, I think there's a saying, actually, you say, where's brass? Right?
Right.
I found that out, I heard that, I overheard that.
What's that?
It was something...
You're wasting time. Who's that bull cunt that's just turned up? I'm going to fucking kill him.
Right, where's brass?
What does it mean?
I heard it at school when they...
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Just you.
It means, I heard someone use it on the...
Well, I don't know what the fuck it means.
It means the top person of the police who are around at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm the fucking top brass here. I've got a fucking gun against this kid's head. Who the fuck are you bald little shithead? Where's my car?
What car?
I've asked for a car. Where's my fucking car? Am I talking to you now, am I? Are you the negotiator?
Yeah.
Right. Get me a fucking car.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, I'm fucking sore from showing. Throw a phone through the window so I can talk to you over the phone.
No. All right, in a minute.
Don't ever fucking say no to me.
In a minute, I said.
Okay. Right, the clock's going. Where's this fucking phone?
Listen.
I've got a sore throat. I can't talk anymore with that.
I've been called up here.
I can't hear you. I need the phone.
I've been called up here.
Yeah, can you go put the phone through? Why are you putting the phone through, you dopey cunt? You want to talk to him?
Because I don't want to give you a phone straight away. You said you've got to delay him.
No, you've got to talk to them. You shouldn't even demand a phone. You should make sure you've got a phone, you dopey twat.
Give him a phone.
Right, thanks. All right, how's it going? That's better.
Right.
Who are you, by the way? Who are you? Bruce.
I can't give you them details.
Well, you can, because I've got to trust you, dopey sod. Are you police, or just some fucking cunt walking by?
I'm a policeman.
Right, I don't trust policemen.
No, but I'm a bit higher than that. So listen.
Or don't you tell me I'm laying down the law here.
No,
I'm going to shoot someone unless I get a fast car. I've done a robbery. It's all gone wrong. You're having now, but I want a car to the airport. I want a plane standing by.
You don't know me, but I do this a lot. Right? And I can tell you that it never works out right. Do you know anyone who's done what you're doing and who's now living a happy life?
Well, I don't care. I don't care about living anyway. I don't care about living out. I don't care if this goes wrong because I'm going to shoot the hostage.
What's your problem?
I'll just... I think you've got the wrong attitude, mate. I think you've got the wrong attitude here.
No, but this is... to be honest with you, this was my last week.
Why are you telling him that?
Because I want to bring him down to my level.
Right. What's that got to do with it?
Well, you know, I've done this job for a long time.
Right.
Sometimes I felt like you. I've done, you know, even though I'm on this side, you know, sometimes I feel like, oh, I've had enough of this.
Right, well, I haven't enough, but I'll tell you, I don't care about living or dying here, so if I don't get a car to the airport, all bets are off. I'm killing everyone and then myself, so you'll be a big loser. You will be a big loser, son. There you go, I'll give you the clue now, Carl. He doesn't care about getting away with it. Now you've got to get him to stand near a window. You've got to take him out. Because I've got a gun to someone's head. You can't burst in, right? You've got what? Come on. How do you get him to stand near a window?
Oh, I bet you're hot in there.
Keep going.
I am hot. Yeah, that's why I've just drawn the curtains and keep away from the window because the sun's blazing in. It's not too bad away from the window.
It's the sun's gone round the back now. Just come and have a look. It's a lovely evening.
Why do you want me to stand near a window?
I think just because when you see how nice an evening it is.
Where's load of dribble
Keep going, I'm interested. When you see how lovely
No,
it's
that thing. I've heard that if you smile, you feel better. So have a little smile. Think of a happy moment in your life.
I'll tell you what a happy moment in my life would be. Putting a bullet through your little round head, you cunt.
keep thinking about that image.
Right.
And you can see that round head. Just come to the window, I'll show you the round head.
That would probably work, actually.
What? No, I'm not going to come near the window. You come near the window. You come near my window. Have you come? Are you coming near the window?
No, not yet.
Where?
Delaying it again. Right, I'm coming near the window.
Well, I'm going to shoot you if you come near the window, you dopey prat.
Well, why? I thought we were getting somewhere here.
No, I'm going to shoot you. I've conned you. I've negotiated you to come near the window, and I'm going to shoot you in the head, you prat.
I'll just leave then.
Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the Ricky Gervais Guide to Law and Order. The next one in the series is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Future, which is out on the 29th of December. So look forward to that. Anyway, it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, goodbye, and Karl Pilkington.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hello and welcome to number 11 in our series of 12 podcasts with me, Ricky Gervais. Hello, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington. Now, Karl, you have become a phenomenon. Okay? Right. This is a news story that's gone everywhere. It started, I think, in New York, Reuters, and then that's been taken up by every Reuters network everywhere, India, all over Australia, England. Okay, here it is. The headline is, Podcast makes Britain an unlikely internet icon. Britain there, B-R-I-T-O-N. Okay? Now, this is the story by Mark Egan, and it's came out of New York originally. Unemployed British radio producer Karl Pilkington has become an unlikely superstar by using the medium of podcasting for his bizarre statement about eating an animal's private parts. Remember that?
Yeah, it was more about like that reality show.
Well, it says that here. It was during a discussion on the Gervais Show about a reality TV show where contestants were asked to eat an animal's penis. Pilkington made internet history while talking about this, it says, right? First, he said he could not eat an animal's penis in the morning because he had a delicate stomach. He then proclaimed, using the British slang for penis, I could eat a knob at night. Okay? His knob soundbite has become so popular that a Google search for I could eat a knob at night yields more than 500,000 listings. Okay? Among them are TV and in poverty. There is a lot of poverty in India, but there is also, you know,
Yeah, but
it's still a major civilization, and the people that live in apartments with computers, they probably might tune in.
But I don't think it's an issue all over the world, is it? Because there's some places where they eat dogs. They'd go, no, at night, not a problem. Might not be a bad thing. You know, why was that out on a t-shirt? I had one last Wednesday. Not an issue. What do you mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, again, if there are cannibals listening, if it's, you know, in places that you wouldn't travel to, and they get hold of a little laptop and an iPod, and they're listening to that, I can eat a knob at night, then they're going, what's the problem, what's the big deal? We love a knob at night. We love a little knob at night, yeah. Bollocks in the morning, knob at night. That's the rule.
But what about the fact that they're saying you're a phenomenon, a global phenomenon? Because when you were, you know, a tiny little round-headed mank growing up in Manchester, you could not surely have ever anticipated that you would one day be described as a phenomenon, an international phenomenon.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I went to that school, you know, with a kid with a big head and webbed hands. Now he should be being talked about.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to be talked about. If you've grown up with a big head and webbed hands, the last thing you want to be is talked about. He wants to put on
to blend into society.
He wants to put on a bit of a pair of mittens and paint his head like a crash helmet, so people think, well, it looks like a big head, but it's probably just a crash helmet.
Yeah, just go about his business.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Won't get stopped on a bike or anything.
Yeah, but I say if you've got something that's a bit weird, use it.
That's what we're doing.
That's exactly what me and Steve are doing. We have got something that's a bit weird, and we're using it. And I want to speak to the people all around the world. Thanks for listening. But how famous can you make Karl Pilkington? Are you a journalist? Please write about this for people who probably haven't listened to Karl. Talk about Karl Pilkington. Put a little poster up in your window. I love Karl Pilkington. Print a badge. Give it away. Email your friends. Tell one person about this podcast and let them discover the amazing beauty that is Karl Pilkington's mind.
Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back. I'm here to tell you about Friday night comedies on Channel 4. There's 3 great comedies. New Green Wing, it's nearly ready. My name is Earl and the It Crowd, the great new comedy from creator of Father Ted. Get your ass to Mars. Friday night comedy this Friday on Channel 4. Switch it on. I'll be back. Uzi 9mm. Cause I needed a voice.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
As ever, Rick, there are hundreds and thousands of emails coming in. People contributing all kinds of stuff, pictures as always, and little video clips that I think might be of interest. And of course, as ever, lots of questions for Karl as well, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there. Question from Jade Ramira. Karl, what would you change if you were in charge of what kids are taught in school? Right, you know, because I mean, your school experience was a bit iffy. You got very bored, didn't you? You got very disillusioned by school.
Yeah. What I'd do, right, is instead of keep sort of teaching kids about 2 and 2 and that, which is 4. Right?
Well done.
Show off.
I think they should be asked more questions that make them think rather than something that has just got an answer.
I totally agree.
Right? So
To teaching them the quest for knowledge, inflaming their imagination.
but just freaking them out a bit as well. Just going like,
See, I knew that's where it was going. Because as soon as you started talking, Rick, I was thinking you're thinking some of the big existential or philosophical questions. You know, does it mean to be human? What does it mean to interact with other
Exactly.
humans? To be a human?
Or teaching them sort of like philosophy on a basic level, that, you know, teach them the love for learning. So, you know, get them up to a roots level so they want to learn and then they will learn, as opposed to just teaching them facts.
Whereas
he was thinking, freak them out of it.
Yeah.
no, just like, you know, like I read the other day, and someone sent it in on email, like how there's a dishwasher that's been found on Mars.
Rubbish.
Whoa, what?
But it's not true.
So tell them that.
But it's
say,
not true.
Go home and write about it. How did that happen?
But it didn't happen.
Well, it did happen. It was in a science magazine.
No, it didn't happen. There's not a dishwasher on Mars.
Why not?
Because
What do you mean, why not?
how did it get there?
But we're always sending like rubbish out there and that. It's like
Not dishwashers. What do you think the council take it away and they go, where can we put it? Well, the tip's full. Well, where's the nearest thing we can dump this? Mars, I imagine.
no, but the same way that fella who, I don't know, was it 2 Christmases ago when he was messing about saying I can get stuff to Mars and all that. He did it wrong because he did it on like Boxing Day, and I just think nobody's concentrating. No one wants to work on that day. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? They're going to do stuff sort of half-arsed, aren't they, on Boxing Day? So it didn't really get there, I don't think, but it crash landed.
What are you talking about? What was he trying to do?
He was sending something up to Mars.
Yeah, that little fella that wanted to get something on Mars, and it didn't open properly.
Yeah.
It got there, didn't it?
But the thing is, it got there, it didn't open properly. No one's been back to pick it up. And what I'm saying is, we're saying about going to Mars as our next planet. It's a tip. There's loads of stuff that's been flirted up there.
No, it's not.
It's just all like that probe thing is still there, rotting away.
Yeah. So, ipso facto, there is a dishwasher on Mars. We've settled that. Why would they have a dishwasher on Mars? Would they take the dishwasher up with the space shuttle in case they had dinner parties? What are you talking about?
I just think they would have a little dishwasher in there. There's a lot of them, tight space. You don't want. Who's going to do that? You know, that means.
Do you know how much fuel it takes to move a kilogram out of the Earth's atmosphere? So they're going to take up a dishwasher, are they?
Sorry, but what are they cooking up there, Karl?
How many people does it take to fly a rocket? How many people? Tell me how many people.
Well, it's either one monkey with a banana shoe that feeds it, or probably 2 or 3 humans.
Right, say it's 3 humans.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 humans because they need one to steer it, one to like be going, yeah, we're all right.
Yeah,
And
one
then
Want to make some hors d'oeuvres.
One to stop at the petrol station to get more.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to start having a sink, then whoever's
They
washing
haven't got a
up-
sink.
I know, because they've got a dishwasher.
He's got you there.
But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But all I'm saying is, teach kids things about. Say to them, right, when you go home tonight, There was dinosaurs knocking about ages ago. How would you have lived with them? Get on with it. See you later.
Well, they didn't. I've told you this before. You got a lot of your information from the Flintstones and 1 million years BC with Raquel Welch. There weren't dinosaurs knocking around where there were little fellas knocking around in furry pants.
No, but just sort of saying to them, all right then, here's a different question.
Go on then.
Would it be better to have dinosaurs knocking about now whilst we're here? Because I put that in my diary the other day, that when you think about it, there's a population problem.
Yeah.
There's too many of us.
Yeah.
We're saving people all the time. No one's allowed to get injured anymore. You've got to, wear a helmet when you're on a bike. There's speed bumps to slow people down. Zebra crossing. Cures for illnesses. No one's dying anymore, right?
Well, I think they are.
Not as many as they should be, because the world's crowded. All I'm saying is
There's still people dying. I think there's still people dying.
not that many though.
Yeah, I think there's still millions of people dying.
Loads of people are living longer, and that's the problem.
So you feel that you should introduce Tyrannosaurus Rex into, say, London, just have them wandering around, just picking people off.
That's what. Just sort of random and that. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm not wishing that anyone I know dies and that. But all I'm saying is, I don't know anyone who's died for ages.
Right.
Whereas if a dinosaur was knocking about, you'd go, Neil's gone missing.
Yeah. And Enor's had her head bitten off by a...
Whatever. I just think then it is survival of the fittest, which is, we've lost all that now. You don't even have to be fit to survive. You just keep sticking a new lung on you. Do you know what I mean? They can do too much now to keep people going.
They just keep sticking a new lung on you.
Question from Kevin. He says, Carl, other than the famous boxing match that you've often talked about, I know that took up about 20 minutes of your time, have you ever been in any other kind of fight? I don't suppose a slanging match. I think they're talking, have you ever been in a physical fight?
Once that I can remember. It was over a woman. Well, a girl. I was at school.
Yeah.
And it was because, it's hassle, innit? Right? Relationships when you're younger.
How old were you?
About 7.
It was over a woman.
Go on then. Yeah, go on.
And there was this girl knocking about who, she was quite good looking, everybody liked. And my mate, he really liked her. And I didn't sort of ask her out and that, but she just sort of took a shine to me and stuff, right? And didn't really go out with her properly. It's at that age where going out with someone is just like sort of going, all right, in the morning, do you know what I mean? You just sort of nod your head.
Yeah.
And that. Anyway, there was some sort of school disco. And they were playing Spin the Bottle or something. Right? And I sort of wandered over to see what was going on. And I stood on this girl's dress and put a hole in it. And she started crying. I was like, I can't be dealing with this. Right? What's up with you? It's what's up with you? And everyone's going, Carl, what are you doing? That's meant to be your girlfriend and that. You should be sort of saying, I'm sorry, and giving her a hug and all that. And saying, it'll be all right, we'll sort the dress out. I said, I can't be dealing with this. No. Right? So she's crying her eyes out, so it's over, right?
It's over, you saying, in the morning. Yeah.
No more of that.
Yeah, there's no more in the morning.
So I go to the toilet, right? And this lad who fancies her comes in and goes, you're out of order, And so what are you on about?
Sorry, there's 2 7-year-olds. Yeah, you're out of order. Keep out.
Yeah. Cut it out. Show her a bit of bloody respect.
Sorry, were you wearing trilbies?
Yeah. He put his cigarette out in the sink and he just said, leave it.
Get out of my face.
So I just sort of said, look, why are you getting involved and all that?
Yeah. 2 7-year-olds? Yeah. Why are you getting involved?
And it was obviously because, he fancied her and that. We had a bit of a fight in there. Yeah. I accidentally, sort of chipped his tooth on a sink. Right?
Wow, is it like a problem?
Sorry, this is like something from Lock, Stock and 2 Smoking Barrels. Yeah. What are you talking about? 2 7-year-olds in a toilet?
So you put a hole in her dress. I don't know how that. What were you wearing? Football boots. How did you make a hole in her dress?
I don't know. It's like that sort of material.
You were wearing winkle pickers,
like a crepe. You know what I mean? It was like a crepe dress or something.
Yeah.
Right. And that got a hole in it.
So you're having and when you say you're having a fight, I mean, are you wrestling with it? You got arm locks and head locks?
Wrestling and shoving about and that, and it was an accident. I didn't sort of go, right, I'm going to break your teeth or anything. It's just that I happened to push his head down, and his tooth hit the sink, and it chipped and what have you. After that, I sort of left there and stuff, and we had to go into assembly, and there was a copper in there doing some presentation saying, listen kids, you know, don't get into trouble because we're out there and we'll get you, right? So sort of try to teach the kids young not to get into any trouble and stuff. So I'm sat in the assembly room thinking, oh God, there's a copper here talking, and like my mate's going to come in a minute, like with a chipped tooth and everything. And
Questions are going to get asked.
that's what kind of happened. I mean, the coppers didn't get involved.
Yeah.
Did you turn your back on violence after that then?
Yeah. He said, you'll never take me alive, copper.
So yeah, that was the sort of last fight.
Brilliant.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Some of the questions coming in now, Rick, are just, I don't know what they're intending. What response they're hoping for, really. This is one from Rob. He just says, I was just wondering, what are Karl's views on the human appendix?
What do you think, Karl? What do you think of the human appendix?
Never worried about it.
Oh. Well, no, I think Rob's point is that it's sort of pretty redundant now. The appendix used to be an organ that was packed with these enzymes that help break down things like cellulose. But because of our diet now, and because cooking and other things, we don't need to eat a lot of cellulose. We don't eat very, very low grade things like rabbits, for example, huge appendix and cecum, and they use it to break down cellulose. They actually eat their own feces to get it through again. But we get a lot of nutrients out of food now. We eat a very rich food, so we sort of don't need the appendix. And also, when something goes wrong with the appendix, if it bursts, it can infect you and you can die from it. So sort of what's the point in having it? We don't need it, and it can only cause us harm. That was the question, I think, that Rob was putting to you. So now what are your thoughts on the human appendix?
So this is kind of what we've talked about before, where...
He always says that. He always says something like, oh, we've talked about this before. And the thing that we've talked about is nothing like it. Yeah. There's never... Go on.
No, but just like in the way that we've messed with our body and we've messed with the world too much.
Yeah.
If we've got an appendix, we must need it. If it's dangling about, right?
Well, no, because such is the human evolution is that, as you said before, it's no longer based on survival of the fittest, because we can fight nature and combat it. So our evolution, if you like, socially and everything else, it has been much faster than our biological evolution.
What I mean is we've obviously interfered somewhere along the way. And
we have interfered, yeah.
We shouldn't have done, because it's the same way like if we didn't have planes and that, would we have wings now? If we'd have needed to get about, would we have had wings?
No, the answer's no. Next.
No, but you say that, but look at the way...
Because he's right, is it? Because he's right.
No, but all I'm saying is you see that little picture of like an ape to man.
Yeah.
At first they're crawling about on all fours because probably you're looking for food, so you want to be down there. So
right.
if you're on both legs, you're missing stuff that's on the floor.
What sort of time period do you think this... Because, I mean, we started, dabbling with a plane maybe 100 years ago. So what sort of time period do you think this little thing who's scrabbling around looking for food stood up and walked?
I don't know. I sort of don't worry about time.
Right. Well, I'll tell you now, we wouldn't have wings now. If the Wright brothers had said, oh, forget it, we wouldn't have wings now.
What would happen? Right, here's another question. This is one that I'd chuck out to kids as well. We're talking about education, teaching kids stuff.
Sure.
What would happen, right? We ruin this world, right? Goes wrong and that. Right, they shut it down. You go, we're moving. We go to another planet.
It's as simple as that in his world. It's as simple as that.
We can't go to Mars because it's full of stuff that used to be in Dixon's.
It's like a tip.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. So we can't go there. We go somewhere else.
So you find another planet, wherever it is, right?
Wherever it is.
Easy.
Something that I've always wondered about, if we do that, do we start New Year's or do we carry on? Do you know what I mean? Do we say, oh, it's still 2006? Or do we go, it's world new, whatever, new world?
That is definitely the first priority.
It's year one, right, we've sorted that out. Right, now...
Well, it depends, doesn't it? Because a year might not be the same on this planet.
We'd sort that out, right? We'd sort out what year it is and that.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, we'd have to start again anyway, because the planet might not take 1 year as we know it to go around the sun. It might not take a day to turn. A day is a day because that's how long it takes.
Yeah, but we'd have to carry on, as we know, because we don't want to start doing longer days and that, otherwise it'll just kick off and say, this is rubbish, this new world, what are you doing?
No,
I'm doing a 28-hour day.
We wouldn't have a choice. A day is how long it takes the planet to turn, and a year is how long it takes that planet to go around the sun.
But a day is man-made, really. There's places in the world where they're working in the dark, isn't there, in Iceland and that? But they don't go, well, it's dark all the time, so I'll stay in bed.
Well, no, but there's still a day. It's still 24 hours in a day in Iceland.
Yeah, but we only work by that clock because that's what people use at the moment. They go, what time is it? You go, it's 20 past 11.
No. We use that because that's how long it takes the planet we're on to
I've never worried about it like that. I've just always...
Well, no, I'm telling you...
Well, that's because you weren't asked to get involved when they came up with the idea.
I'm telling you, that's what a day is. It's how long it takes your planet to...
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying that's fine and everything. But if when I was born, people said there's 26 hours in a day, I'd go, fair enough. I'm not going to argue.
We could have made up how long an hour is. Yeah, we could have made hours shorter and get 26
Well, they're saying they're going to do that. Because,
no, they're not.
No, they are, because there's so many people in the world.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about before. They've got to create more jobs. The only way to have more jobs, keep shops open, take on more people. Everyone's happy.
That makes no sense at all.
Right. Say if there's 28 hours in a day.
Yeah, it'd still be 24 hours long as we used to know it.
No, you'd have like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's like 20 past 25 or whatever.
Well, you don't make any sense at all.
No, I'm just saying...
The Earth would still take 24 hours as we know it now.
Forget it.
Hang on a minute, there's more interesting territory here. Let's say we've got to our new planet, wherever that is. It takes 14 hours, okay, to do its turn. So we call that a day, right? So we've now agreed that 14 hours is a day.
But nothing. It's going to take ages to get the town centre built and that. If you've only got...
I'm going with you. I'm defending you here.
All right.
So we've got that. We've established what the day is. We've established what a year is, right? It's year one. It's Karl year one. What next? All right. We've got all the people. We've moved to another planet. You said you had a bunch of other questions.
Don't forget, our sleep patterns have evolved on a day. The reason we sort of like go to sleep at night and have about 8 to 10 hours sleep is because that's our evolution.
No, but that's just because that's what we've got used to, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at a sloth, that's asleep all the time. Yet that's got the same watch as us. It's doing what it
but
wants.
it evolved differently, didn't it?
But it's living now in 2006, so wake it up. Right, you can't get away. You're not getting away with this anymore. If you want to live now, join in with us.
Well, it's that time again. It's the feature that the world is saying could rival Monkey News one day. Ready? Oh, what's he written today?
What, Karl's diary? You didn't explain what it was. Actually, as one person said, if we are going to get it published, we can maybe publish it as the Diary of an Idiot.
Very good.
So, riff there on one of the most famous diaries. Sunday, got up, sunny day, so went for a walk in the park. There was a bloke walking down the street who was whistling some kind of annoying tune. He seemed quite happy with himself. Do people only whistle when they're happy? I don't whistle very much.
It's a good point. Whistling is so inane to me. But yeah, it's sort of like going, I'm content, it really is that thing that if they go, you go, well, Mr. Mellors, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Not only has your wife died, but you've lost the house. Thanks, Doctor.
Won't happen.
No, you don't whistle when you're sad. The other place you hear it, of course, is changing rooms. And that's men going, I'm whistling, so I'm not looking at your cock. How could I be? I'm concentrating on whistling.
The lake was frozen over where I was walking. The ducks looked worried. They were sat on the edge of the lake waiting for it to melt. Were they, Karl?
Yeah, we were just sat there looking, sort of going, oh, what's going on? I don't know. How long is a duck's memory? Because I wondered whether they're going, this doesn't seem right, but I don't know why.
I asked Suzanne why ducks don't use their wings much. They seem to walk and swim more and don't bother using their wings. Suzanne said she had to call her mum and dad, so I never got an answer.
The old excuse! Suzanne, I can't talk now, Karl.
Gonna phone my mum. There was a marathon type run going on in the park. It reminded me of the time when we were moving flat. It was the day of the London Marathon. Me and Suzanne were walking down the middle of the road taking some stuff to our new flat. I was carrying a lamp and a kitchen bin. People were clapping me, thinking I was doing some kind of fun run.
Yeah.
Why were you walking on the same route?
Because it was when we lived on the Docklands.
Oh, brilliant.
There was no other route. The flat was just about 100 yards down the road.
They're going, look at the bloke with the bald wig. He's going along with a bin.
Took a bag of old clothes to Oxfam. It was just old T-shirts and a couple of jumpers with holes in it. I don't think anyone will buy them, but the Oxfam is closer to the flat than the wheelie bin is. On the tube on the way back home, saw an advert for a book about a woman who works in a funeral home. She went into work one day, she goes to work on a body, she takes the sheet off of one of the bodies, and it looks exactly like her. This is called a doppelganger.
What's a doppelganger to you?
It's the thing I read about ages ago where someone was walking down the street.
Yeah, and he sees someone who looked a bit like him.
And no, this was weirder than it.
Go on.
He remembers like going down that street as a kid on his bike whistling.
Yeah.
And then he's walking down the street, going to get some milk or whatever from the shop. Little bike comes whizzing past. He hears the whistling, he goes, that's weird. Looks at it, it was him when he was a kid. So it's like a time.
Shit. What do you mean it was him as a kid?
This is like a different form of doppelganger. It's just
It's impossible, it's rubbish.
some sort of time thing, isn't it?
No, it's not even that's impossible, so don't
It's
worry
just some
about
kind of time thing, Rick. No.
it. Yeah, it's something you read again on the internet, or it was a short story, or something someone told you.
On my walk back from the tube, I saw a jogger who was pushing a pram at the same time. The kid looked terrified. Got my science book out. It said that the static you get on the telly when a channel isn't tuned in properly is radiation that is still knocking about from when the Big Bang happened. I thought about the Big Bang and wondered if it was really a Big Bang or did it just sound louder as there was no other noise to drown it out.
Good point, isn't it?
Carl's diary, Rick, never ceases to amaze. More from that next week.
Hey, fool! Don't give me no backtrack, sucker. I ain't here to mess with you. I ain't getting in no plane. I'm here to tell you all about Friday night comedy on Channel 4. There's 3 great new comedies. New Green Wing, Yeah, Fool, that's nearly ready. My Name is Earl, and The It Crowd. They're great new comedy from the creator of Father Ted, sucker. Friday night comedy this Friday on Channel 4, fool. Switch it on, or I'll be around your house. You stay up all night shivering, cause you be so mad scared. Fool.
Oh, well, it's that time now. Yeah? It's the big one.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news!
Right, it was this
Monkey?
this fella who he had a problem with his eyes. Right?
Yeah.
So he goes to the doctors and he goes, oh, I've got a problem with my eyes. And he goes, yeah, they're bad then. Right? He goes, it was in America, you know, like how you have to pay for medical stuff and all that. And the doctor said, oh, if I fix them, it's going to be like 10 grand. Right? It's like, but I haven't got the money, doctor. He goes, well, I can't help you then. You know, there's a lot of people with bad eyes like them. Can't do anything for you. So he goes, oh, it's getting worse. Can't do anything. So anyway, so he goes home.
Is that the price of human eyes, is it?
So he goes home, he's looking in the paper, right? And he sort of sees in the adverts at the back. And there's a little advert there saying cheap doctors, right?
Oh, no.
So he's thinking, oh, man.
Just.
But I've said this for an idea. I think they should do that. Because how many singers do we need in the world? You see, that's the thing. We're talking about the future.
Yeah.
I think we're not going to talk anymore. I think it's going to be like living in an opera. The way things are going on now, everyone wants to sing.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you did a TV programme to try and get a doctor, you know...
X-ray factor.
You know, it's all about, you know, getting in young kids, do live surgery. You know, there's big queues anyway. People are queuing up to have operations done.
Yeah.
So you say, look, Hilda, you have got a problem with your left bunion. You can either wait for your proper doctor and hospital, but it's going to be a 2-year waiting list.
Or you can have Jedward do it.
Are you free Saturday night, live?
Because we've got 2 17-year-olds who are going to do it.
Hilda! She comes out, they start...
Little voice! I've never heard him do a little voice before!
So
Okay. So this is, what is this? This is a talent show where people can have a go at being a doctor. Right?
Well, this is like something from the Middle Ages.
But they need volunteers who would rather have an apprentice, someone have a go.
It's not even an apprentice, it's someone with no training at all.
Yeah.
They learn how to do major operations in a week.
But no, not major ones, that's for the final. You do a heart,
of course, yeah,
do a
you've got
heart
to build that,
transplant.
sure.
But you're
A
building
heart
up.
transplant for the final. That's
So anyway,
amazing.
so it's Hilda, and Hilda's not the person. She's not operating. She's just the person who needs a
No,
bungee.
she's the foot problem, yeah.
So she comes in, they have a quick chat
I had
with
a
her.
chat with her, how's your life been? Bit of Coldplay under her. She's
Yeah.
going, oh, it's terrible, I can hardly walk and all that. And you go, right.
Here's a fellow who looks like a baby.
And then,
And you think this is a good? You don't see any problems with this so far. You've not identified any concerns yet.
if it means you get younger people into other jobs other than singing,
I agree with you. I think it's crazy that everyone now just wants to be famous, a singer or something, and we don't need them. They're just contriving it. All they're doing is knocking the last one off the top number one spot. It's just a factory.
But I'm not talking about everyone should try and be a singer, am I? What I'm saying is sometimes you're allowed to pursue your dreams, and they might be you may fulfil those dreams. There's nothing wrong with that. It may be that you want to operate on a woman called Hilda or a bungee. Pursue that dream. But according to your negative views, we shouldn't even try and do that either.
what I'm saying is,
Go on. What's he saying?
Leona was an example. I'm not saying everyone should try and be like Leona.
No, listen to his point, Stephen, because he's got a very good point coming up.
Here it
now.
comes. This is it.
Okay. He hasn't said a normal word yet, but he's going to say some now, and they're all going to be profound.
people's dreams aren't their own dreams.
Oh, hold on. What do you mean by that?
Okay, keep going. Let him, no. He'll explain. You don't need to ask me questions. He'll explain.
Because they think they know what they want because they see it on the telly. They see, someone singing a song and they go, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, change the dreams. Change the dreams.
Yeah.
Surgery. They're watching that. They're seeing Hilda happy with a better foot. The doctor's getting all the praise. They go, I want a bit of that action. That's what it's about. They don't want to be singers. They want to be known. They want to be famous.
Yeah.
So, fine, have a bit of fame, but do some good. Fix Hilda's foot.
Sorry, was that the end of the point?
Yeah, because all we've done, we've changed the dreams. Dreams are...
Well, you hit on a good point there, because what is astounding is that when people are inundated with praise for people who are just clothes horses, they are just skinny nobodies who don't do anything except have their picture taken, and they're role models for, I'm not talking about, anyone in particular, but it's just these people who, want to be seen with other celebrities and marry celebrities and be a celebrity. People think that's an easy life because they're getting rewarded for it. And yet, someone who's stuck in a laboratory trying to come up with a cure for AIDS, they don't know or care about them. And
Okay. Can I just point out, though, that if we're going to have a go at people being successful, making money and being well known for doing nothing of any value, I point you to the man sat opposite me here.
And that's, I tell you, there's times when I, lie awake at night thinking, what was my dreams?
Yeah, but
I'd have to be a
but
little
I've got
doctor.
a new boiler.
Hold on.
And 2 houses.
I'd love to be a little doctor.
Yeah, I mean, it's past me now. There's no way I can go back.
Wow.
But it would have been brilliant.
You're wrong. Karl Pilkington!
Hilda?
What is it? What now, Hilda? What's up with you? I've got terrible piles. There's some sort of blockage up there. I haven't gone to the haven't gone to the toilet for a week. Well, Karl, can you unblock Hilda's arse? Now live, unblocking Hilda's arse. Karl Pilkington.
I thought she had bad feet.
No, no. Jedward fixed her feet. There's a lovely job, that's why they stayed in last week. Her arse is worse than her feet. It's because she's been off her feet for so long, because she couldn't walk. Her arse took the brunt of it, and it's just terrible. Piles have burst, and it's blocked up there where all she just eats is cheese because she's so depressed.
I'd probably knock it on the head there.
Why?
I'd just say, like going back to the street thing, I've gone down the wrong avenue. I go, this isn't for me, I didn't know I'd be, eye to eye with this. It's not for me, and that's how you find out that it's not for you, by doing it.
Right.
But at least I gave it a go.
So this the same as you had one fight with Leroy, you went along to a dance studio that was shut, you've seen Hilda's arse, and it's turned you off the proctology.
Once again, you just abandoned it.
Yeah, well, there's no point.
Have a go. Just feel inside Hilda's back passage. Feel the blockage.
No, because the audience have already decided. They've seen a weakness in me. They're going to vote me out.
No.
There's no point me getting dirty fingers for this.
Well, that's about it for the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Future. The next audio book in this series is the Ricky Gervais Guide to the Human Body. Look forward to that.
Will do.
It's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And the little round-headed, shaven chimp that is forever Karl Pilkington.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. As the Canadian physician William Osler once said, the desire to take medicine is perhaps the greatest feature which distinguishes man from animals. From keyhole surgery to stem cell research, modern medicine enables the 20th century man to play God. But how did we get here? What incremental advances through the ages gave birth to the medical wonders of today? Here to discuss the history and practice of medicine are Stephen Merchant, graduate from the University of Warwick and now award-winning writer.
Thank you very much indeed.
And Karl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a shaven chimp with a head like a fucking orange.
All right.
Well, there is obviously so much to discuss, Ricky. I wonder, in an effort just to provoke some initial thoughts, if I can offer another quote from the great Carl Sagan, who said, advances in medicine and agriculture have saved vastly more lives than have been lost in all the wars in history. So quite a...
Yeah, it just shows you shouldn't really worry about war.
What do you mean?
It's not a big problem, is it? Obviously. So, that's a good point there, Carl. War's not as bad as a lot of people make out. What do you think, Carl? Overrated? Too much fuss about all...
Well, I don't know anyone who's died in a war, but I know loads of people who have died from, cancer and what have you. So is that going on Carl's quote? Does that work? Is he right? What did he say?
Good, well, we're off to a fascinating start. I think it's probably best, Rick, if we return to the very beginning of time, the dawn of man, because, of course, even in primitive, prehistoric ages, medicine was practiced in some ways, from the research people have done, cave paintings and the like. Karl, I wonder if you would just give us your initial thoughts on, the medicine of the ancient world.
You sound like you haven't studied it, or you're being...
You're being modest.
You're being modest?
I never really thought about it.
What do you think?
They didn't have much. I know that Tutankhamun,
Tutankhamun?
he died of having a knee injury. So they didn't have that much medicine knocking about back then.
Right, where did you get this information from? It sounds vague.
I read it at an exhibition I went to, and
Did you read the whole sentence, or
No, I just saw they had some video footage made up. It wasn't from the time, and they just sort of said this is probably what happened. Sure.
Did you put the headphones on and listen, though, or do you just guess it?
I just looked because I couldn't have the headphones.
Of course not.
Why couldn't you have the headphones?
They're expensive.
How much?
About 50 quid, I think, deposit and everything.
Well, you get that back though. If you return them, all you have to do is take them off your head and hand
I
them
don't like the idea
in.
of handing money over, because it's like when you get a flat and that and you put a deposit in, you never get the full deposit back. I don't like deposits.
Well, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take 50 quid off because you put wallpaper on your headphones.
No,
it's not the same, is it?
So you're going to deprive yourself of education because you don't trust
I saw it.
the Natural History Museum.
He came off a chariot. The dangerous things.
He came off a chariot. You saw that on the... How do you know he died? How could you tell from visual images that Tutankhamun died from a knee injury?
It's just... honestly, you're going to make yourself look daft here, because that's what happened.
Imagine that. In a room with Karl Pilkington, we make ourselves look daft. That would be incredible.
So aside from Tutankhamun's knee injury, that's pretty much your grasp of the ancient world of medicine?
Well, I don't know anyone else who's knocking about.
Well,
Whenever
what
you hear
about, if we
it,
go back even further, what about if we go to sort of primitive man, cave-dwelling man? What do you know there of medicine in that early stage?
Didn't really bother.
Okay, is that guessing, or...
Wasn't the earliest ones like people like shaman and those
absolutely, of course.
tribal lords that would say... Well, that was, I assume, even, pagan man had sort of apothecaries that certain roots and...
Yeah, shaman who would use herbs and so on. But of course, if we go back to primitive man, you're obviously familiar, I believe it's pronounced, is it trepanning?
Oh, when you take the top of your head off and let out the demons. And
they found various skulls from ancient man with holes bored in the top, some of which had healed over, suggesting that they had indeed drilled holes in their head, or presumably they wouldn't have had drills at that point, cracked the head, and in their thinking letting out evil spirits, and then they healed back over. So in some instances, the people survived.
Don't you think it's fascinating that there was at one point when man discovered that this thing that we now call the brain, which sort of houses the mind, he knew was in his head?
It's not that amazing.
Well, no, it's not to you, because you know it's there. But
But back then, I reckon I'd know that's where it is.
Why? Can you feel where you're thinking?
Well, it just makes sense to put it there.
What do you mean?
When you think and you speak, it comes out your mouth. So it just makes sense that whatever's near that is near to the mouth. If your brain was in your foot, it'd take ages for you to say anything.
No, you wouldn't! Why?
Yeah. This is like actually talking to a primitive man about his understanding of medicine. They would have more insight. By this point, we'd have just cracked open your head to get the demons out. Shall we move on to the ancient world in terms of Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, of course, because they made huge advances, particularly the Romans, who understood, of course, the importance of sanitation. Famously, their streets were clean.
Yeah. Don't you think that if we hadn't have cleaned up as much, that, I don't know, we'd be stronger?
What? Well, I know what you mean. Yeah, they say let your kids eat dirt. Yeah, of course. Well, that's building up its sort of immunity system. If you're too cosseted, you don't fight it. And that's exactly what immunisation is, giving you a bit.
Yeah, but it's gone mental now. Whenever a baby's born, he's drugged out of its eyeballs. It's only about a week old. They're giving it all sorts of shots.
Like what?
Loads of stuff for whooping cough.
Yeah, you don't want whooping cough. Tutankhamun could have died of whooping cough.
No, but they give it loads of stuff. And now it's like, I don't know, it's making us weak.
Yeah, soon there's going to be things that, one, we're not immune to, and two, our antibiotics no longer work. Because, of course, things like the viruses and bacteria or whatever, they evolve and change so quickly that you can't keep up with them. And also, there's this big thing, like the superbug, for example. There's a very strong theory that says that it's where people took half the course of antibiotics, and what it did was it was almost like an immunisation to the bacteria and virus against the antibiotic. They got stronger.
That's what I mean.
So yeah, we need some germs, as you'd call them, but there are some that we have eradicated. I mean, I think it was in our lifetime that they eradicated smallpox from the world. They just stopped it, and it saved, millions and millions of lives, and they wiped it out.
There are rumours, of course, that both Russia and America still have the smallpox virus under lock and key, which they could theoretically breed and use in a chemical warfare situation.
Well, there was a bit of a scandal a few years ago, I think 10 years ago, where in a university laboratory, someone came across a marked yoghurt pot in deep freeze that had smallpox in it. That was a hangover from the 70s.
When you say it was marked, was it like someone's put their name on it because they don't want someone to eat their smallpox?
No, I think they looked into it, and it was the deep frozen smallpox virus that thawed out.
They just left in the fridge.
Well, I think so. Yeah, it was an admin problem. I'm sure that it's somewhere. What I mean is, it's under lock and key or frozen at minus 200 degrees centigrade. Why?
Under lock and key and all that. It's not good enough. Get rid of it. Why are they keeping a little tub of smallpox knocking about?
Well, they're not meant to be.
Well, that's a lesson.
What's he doing there in the first place? To me, that's like in James Bond, where they don't kill him when they have the chance. There's always that little thing of, oh, let's play with danger. Let's keep a bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Pop it
probably...
next to AIDS in the Kiora bottle. I don't understand why you'd store that.
Well, there's probably a presumption, it's probably an overhang from the Cold War, where people were thinking, well, listen, what if Russia's still got some smallpox? We better hang on to some smallpox.
It's just clutter though as well, isn't it? You see, we're obsessed. We're keeping stuff. And it's the same with germs. We can't even say, get rid of that. We won't be needing it. Smallpox. We'll keep it just in case. Get rid of it. We've got this obsession thing again. It's saving everything. It's like how we save every animal, even a germ. We get upset about if it dies out. Keep
you say that, but of course, famously Alexander Fleming discovered what may be the most important breakthrough of the 20th century, which was the first antibiotic, I think, in 1928, and he's literally saved hundreds of millions of lives with that, changed the face of modern medicine. And he discovered that because he left a bit of old bread out for a while and it went all mouldy in his kitchen. And he thought, oh, what's that? Oh, let's have a look.
Like I've said to you before, it's down to him being scruffy more than anything.
No.
It just seems like there's a lot of scruffy kitchens around that, I mean, you're saying...
But think if his cleaner had come in and gone, oh, Mr. Fleming, you disgust me, you fucking filthy scruffy cunt, I'm going to throw all this bread away. He's going to go, Maud, what'd you do with that old bread I left out? It'd gone green, sir, so I chucked it away. Oh, Maud, you dopey fucking slut. You've just caused millions and millions of people to die. Keep out of my fucking kitchen.
I know, but don't put it there. It's the same way smallpox in a yoghurt pot. It's in a yoghurt pot.
Well,
you're asking for trouble.
But what if Maud had come in and thrown that away? Again?
He couldn't shout at her. She's doing a job. I'd be annoyed if it was still there.
Yeah.
I'd say it's been here now for a couple of weeks. You haven't even asked. There's a lot of cleaners. That's part of the problem, I'd say. The cleaners. They're not doing the job. That's the problem in hospitals, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's filth everywhere.
Well, they proved a point. In one hospital, they brought a team of people in to show doctors and nurses how to clean things properly, and deaths went down 30%.
There you go.
Just from properly washing your hands and properly washing the floor and things. That's amazing, isn't it?
It's pretty simple. Just don't put yoghurt pots with smallpox in the fridge.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a starter.
Yeah, but you were saying earlier, let's let babies eat mud, don't inject them.
Yeah.
Let them crawl around a dirty floor, clean up the floor and no one will die.
I did say that, but we've gone too far now. Babies are coming out mad. Oh, they can't handle anything now. Oh, they've got a runny nose. They're coming out all mardy. Get ill. Yeah, they get ill easy. They're not tough babies anymore. We're ending up with a load of weak people who need looking after all the time. That costs a lot of money. And they can't do anything. They're useless. Now, that doesn't happen in other nature. If a little weak bird is born, you see Bill Oddie saying that won't last. he says that won't last a week, and he's right. You watch it and say, oh, that third baby that came out, it died. And
what's your point, Carl? That modern medicine, which can help people live to the age of 75, 80, that it shouldn't be doing that? It should let people just die off?
Well, here's something, right? The estate that I grew up on, there's a woman there.
Yeah.
Scruffy Sandra.
I like her already. Oh, it's great. It's so descriptive.
Now,
she had no chance, even if she cleaned up her act.
Yeah.
She'd come in looking like Pretty Woman. You go, all right, Scruffy.
No,
What's the point? What is the point?
So the thing is, she used to always get on these buses called dialer rides that were sort of like posh taxis. You could call for one, it'd come round to your house, and it would pick you up and you'd pay like 50p.
But it would pick up a bunch of other people as well.
Yeah, on the way. So it would take ages to get to where you're going.
That is.
No, it's good though. It's kind of a bit of a day out. Old people used to love it because you'd get to see things.
Right.
And you'd hear a call coming in on the radio that, Scruffy Sandra's being picked up, and you go, oh God. And she'd always have loads of bin bags with her for some reason. Now the thing is...
Well, she sounds clean.
She stunk.
Well, she's taken out the
Was she homeless?
No, she wasn't homeless, no. She used to she just didn't bath and that. She just stunk. But the weird thing is...
What do they call her, Stinky Sandra?
She never was ill.
Right.
People didn't sit next to her.
Yeah.
Because she stunk.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, anyone who might have had a bit of flu or a cold never sat next to Scruffy Sandra.
Right.
Because she stunk. But that was good. That was like a protection thing for her, because she knew that because she stunk, no one wants to sit next to her. She wouldn't pick up the germ.
Right. No, but this is quite... Your point is, in order to fend off illness, you have to not bathe, and so you stink.
So you're saying that it wasn't that she built up an immunity, it was that she stank so much that flu wouldn't come near her.
This is such a specific example. It's not applicable in any other scenario.
There's always colds, there's always flu. It's whether your immunity is good or bad. The times I get ill are usually after like a long haul flight or something, when you're surrounded by it and you're run down a little bit.
Or maybe if you didn't bathe for 3 days before the flight.
Yeah. So it's always there. There's colds and flus everywhere. That's interesting, isn't it? That more sort of colds are spread through shaking hands than people, just taking in the air, because people sneeze into their hand and they think that's sort of safer, and they shake hands and you get it on your hand and it sort of dies in the air quickly, but it stays on your skin a bit more because it's you're nice and warm, lovely environment. So that's why some sort of germaphobes don't even shake hands anymore.
Yeah, but that's going too far, because they're going to die of something. You can't be that paranoid. You've got to get on with your life.
Loneliness.
And it's good to feel ill, because when you feel better, you appreciate how good you feel.
Doesn't make any sense at all. It's good to feel ill. Doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it does afterwards. The other weekend, when I was ill, I don't know what was up with me, but I got something.
Symptoms?
Went to the toilet a lot, felt sick at the same time, got a sweat on, felt weak, had the shakes.
Just a bug, yeah.
Lasted probably about 24 hours. After that 24 hours, you go, oh, I feel good again. It's nice to feel good again. And it makes you appreciate how good you feel. Now, sometimes I don't know if I feel well.
Doesn't make any sense at all either. What do you mean, sometimes you don't know whether you feel well?
Because I've been in my body for years.
Here he goes again. Here he goes again.
Now,
the two minds.
If there was some sort of kit that the doctor said, how are you feeling, Mr. Pilkington? I go, I think I feel all right. And they go, well, do you? I don't know. And they go, well,
I tell you
this
is like a scene from Ghost. This is like Patrick Swayze.
Listen,
borrowing...
do you know that time when I went to the doctors and he said my nerves are too short?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
No, but listen, I've told you about it. I don't want to go through it again. But he looked at my legs and stretched and that. He said, yeah, it's the old short nerves problem. Now, that took like 3 visits before he worked that out.
Right.
But how would he be able, just because if he was feeling how you were feeling, I wouldn't help him identify it.
Yeah, you're there in your body and you're not going, bloody hell, my nerves are a bit short. Doctor, you're going to the doctor. Okay, I'm going to place Pilkington.
Right.
Pilkington is in me. Oh, my nerves are too short.
When my nerves were short.
Are they not short already? Have they extended since then?
Well, I just have to do stretches and it's pull them about.
Right.
But when I had that, I'm not very good with words.
Go on.
So when I was going in saying, doctor, my knee's aching, and he'd go, what sort of ache is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an ache.
Toothache. It's like a toothache in my leg.
No, but it's different.
Go
it's
on.
A different ache. Now the thing
Arse-ache. It's like an arse ache.
it's hard to explain an ache.
So he'd have to feel the ache and then he could make an assumption on it.
Thank you.
So he would presumably go through training going in the machine, and they'd bring in various sick people and he would experience and feel every single ailment.
Great.
Yeah, but over...
Doctor, I'm going to let you know now what a swift kick in the bollocks feels like, just in case you ever have to diagnose that. Oh, you can't remember that one.
Yeah, but...
Doctor, now you're going to feel a spike up the arse.
It's all about...
Oh, I can't remember that one. Okay.
No, couldn't I just wait till the man comes in with a spike up the arse?
No, we've got to tell you so you know
But
when
I
you feel
reckon I
it.
could assess it if he's coming, he's got a spike up his arse.
You've got to experience everything before someone comes in and gets into your body like Ghost, and you'll know what it is.
Hey, listen, let's not dismiss this idea out of hand, of course, because you'll famously remember, Rick, that Karl had the idea of a man who can grow backwards. So he's born as an old man, and when he dies, he's a young baby. I think we're all looking forward to the new Brad Pitt film. That is exactly that plot.
A bit strange.
It's not really strange, is it? Because it's from a novel, I think, written before Karl was born.
That's true, that is true, yes.
Yeah, but I haven't read it.
Well,
So
that's obvious.
it's just an idea. And with all ideas comes something. Einstein said that. He said if an idea isn't...
Go on, wait, just let him finish.
don't
We've got an Einstein quote here.
Yeah.
This is a historic day. Karl, sorry, what were you saying? What did Albert Einstein say?
He just said something along the lines of...
Well, no. Give us the quote.
It doesn't matter about how he worded it. It's the point in hand.
Well, I think it is. I think a quote. I think like all, any sort of poetic content of anything is exactly how it's worded. So just what did Einstein say exactly?
Well, he said something along the lines of...
Go on.
an idea, if an idea isn't daft...
Oh, start again.
No, come on, let's hear it.
No, because he started...
He said if an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
What? Say it again?
If an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
I can't imagine him saying daft.
No, well, it was something like that, though, meaning that every new idea seems a bit mental.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a good
But
point.
then it leads to something.
I'm not sure that he... But I think if we were sat with Einstein now and you'd brought up the machine that allows doctors to feel, I don't think he'd be saying we should pursue that idea.
There's some ideas that go, that I think the Earth might be round. People go, oh, it is flat. And then there's people who stand in doorways covered in crucifixes with tinfoil on their head saying, Jesus is in my cock.
Yeah, but...
Now, he's a mentalist.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't you have said it was mental years ago when someone said, I'm going to make a machine so I can look inside your head? Years on, hello, get in the machine, we've got an MRI scanner. It's the next one along.
They'd go, why are you looking in their head? It's where the brain is.
I'll tell you what, we've got similar to it anyway, because I've read about this machine where, right, say if, put it on Steve, right?
Go on.
I wear a camera on my head.
Right, if this is going to be I can see Steve's thoughts.
No, but it's similar to that, and it works as well. So, I put a camera on Steve's head.
Okay, it's changed already. Whose head's the camera on?
I don't think it matters.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
Let's put
Just
the camera
explain
on Steve's head.
Okay,
right,
okay,
I've got a camera on Steve's head.
Right.
What I've got on my head are some goggles.
Right. Over your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got the camera. Through my goggles, I'm seeing what your camera's seeing.
And where's the camera? Is it looking out from my eyes?
Yeah. Right?
So basically you can see what I can see.
So I'm seeing what you see.
But couldn't you just stand where I'm standing?
Well, it's just a monitor. Oh, that happens now, yeah. You can all have the same monitor.
Hang on. So,
Okay. So... How does it work now?
Wait.
Hang on a minute.
This is... you're at the Royal College of Surgeons. You're presenting this idea now. Everyone in the world is sat down here. The eminent scientists are going, "Can't people don't know he's a genius. He's got an idea for cameras and goggles."
No, you're saying it already exists.
This has just come out the other week.
Oh, okay.
Put a camera on Steve's eyes. He sees through the camera.
What
I've
do you
got
mean?
the goggles.
Why is he seeing through a camera? I don't know what you mean. He's just got... Is
Wherever
it
he looks, the camera's looking.
Okay, so it's a camera, right? Okay,
It's a camera on his head.
It's not seeing through it, it's just seeing what he sees because it's pointing in exactly the same direction as his
Yeah,
eyes.
if he turns his head to the right,
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
see that.
So it's monitored so you're looking at a monitor really.
Right. So one of the simplest ideas, but it's taken us 10 minutes to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So it's the same as a cameraman pointing the camera anywhere. We're watching the telly. We're seeing what the cameraman sees, basically. Go on then.
but it's not like
You've
that.
just invented television. Well done.
Okay, right. So I've got the camera on my head. It's seeing what I'm seeing. Go.
Right.
You've got goggles on your eyes.
I've got goggles on. If you turn right, I feel like I'm turning right.
Okay.
Now my
Yeah.
brain gets to a point that if you wear it for long enough, that brain thinks it's you. Because what happens is, because the brain's being kidded. At the end of the day, my brain thinks it's seen everything because my eyes are looking at stuff.
Yeah, no, that's true, but it doesn't think I'm Steve Merchant. It experienced what Steve's seeing. It's like a virtual reality.
No, but that's the weird thing. If you wear it for long enough, the brain's sort of seeing it like Steve's arm go up to his head and scratch it. And it gets to a point where the brain feels a scratch, even though it's not scratching my head. So they're saying this is like, you're kidding your brain, basically.
I can see how that would work.
But you're not going to believe that you're me.
No, you're not
going to
believing
start
Steve Merchant.
experiencing life as I experience it.
My brain would.
What do you mean your brain would, but you wouldn't?
Because I'm kidding the brain.
Yes, but you couldn't kid it into thinking you're me. You wouldn't forget that you're Karl wearing a contraption.
But what it was saying is if someone went up to your stomach and started tickling you, my brain would look down and see that someone is tickling me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'd start laughing.
I can understand you.
No, you wouldn't. No, you would. Well, yeah, you might do because it might be a confusing
But
stimulus.
yes, but the point is, there may be certain physical things which you experience through it, but you're not going to stop thinking, "Hang on, I'm Karl wearing the mask." Are you?
No.
But you can do that.
You're thinking you're Karl seeing all the things that actually
You're going to
Steve's
start
in, yeah.
having memories that you think are what? Your memories are going to change? You're not going to remember your name, not going to remember Suzanne's name? What are we talking about?
No, but say if we did that at that event with a load of students in front of us, I'd remember that day through your eyes.
Right,
so I'd be living your day.
But you'd also remember that you were
your
wearing
life.
a contraption. You wouldn't remember it as being, I was Steve Merchant for a day.
But I
Yeah,
kind
but you'd
of
have different
was.
thoughts because you'd access. But look, Karl, listen. I sat down and we watched the same thing. We watched a bit of Brokeback Mountain, and we all had different thoughts.
Yeah, because we're all sat in different places.
No, roughly speaking, we had the same experience when we were looking at the same thing. But it doesn't mean you assess it the same way, it doesn't mean you understand it the same way, and it doesn't mean you apply the knowledge in the same way.
No, I understand that, but...
It's an interesting experiment. It is interesting. It'd be interesting to see it live... you're actually living... It's a different window to the world.
Well, yeah, say if, like, I was a fellow with no arms and legs, but these goggles had a really long lead, and you went about living your day, and I was looking through your eyes, I could have quite an interesting life.
Yes, you could,
without
but you
the
wouldn't
axle.
stop remembering that you're the person wearing the contraption.
And also...
But what is life?
Yeah,
Life is what you experience.
Yeah, but if Steve went off... but you'd know this, wouldn't you? I mean...
Well, would you? If you stuck one on a baby?
Well, yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there you
if a baby knew no different, and those were his experience, then he would be feeling what he thought he was. Then there'd be nothing. But then, you know, let's face it, tickling someone is the sensation. It's not the thought, it's not the concept of being tickled.
No, it's not
funny.
though, because if someone goes to tickle you, but they don't tickle you, you can actually laugh, can't you? Because you go, oh God, I know what the feeling's going to be like.
Yes, because you've already experienced the real thing.
Yeah. I still think...
Well, stop that sentence there and you're lying.
Let's go back, if we may, shall we, to just some of the extraordinary early developments in medicine. Do you mind if we...
Oh, yes.
If we go back, just get back on message. There are, of course, a number of extraordinary developments. You may obviously be aware, Karl, that the first contraceptive diaphragms, centuries ago, were citrus rinds. Half an orange rind, for instance, would be used.
I mean, more selfish men turned them inside out.
I believe that's also still being used in parts of Manchester.
For what?
An orange. Just think of your head.
And it worked.
Well, we don't know at this juncture.
I mean, maybe... I don't
It
know,
works for contraception because women went, fuck off, what are you coming to me with a fucking orange on your cock for, you dirty cunt?
But it could... I mean, again, it's that thing, innit, of we look at it now and we laugh, but look at what's happening. People now are always trying to get us to eat more fruit.
Amazing.
That's a way of getting...
I thought for a minute he was going to say, okay, so they start with, then they went from the orange rind to, say, a coconut shell.
Yeah.
That was too big, that didn't work.
Run! Here comes Coconut John!
No, don't put half a pineapple on your cock, that's insane.
Yeah, that's mental.
And then somewhere along the line, they finally got to contraception as we understand it. Is that, I thought that's where you're going, but no. Something about eating oranges is healthy for you.
What I'm saying is, if you go into any well-known supermarket and you look at, say, some young kid who's had a kid, and you look at stuff in their shopping basket, they're not buying fruit. They're buying, you know, burgers and chips.
Turkey Twizzlers,
crisps and all that. No, but they love having it away. Get some fruit in. So they definitely have fruit in the house, which at the moment, a lot of kids don't have fruit in their house. That's why they're eating Turkey Twizzlers. But the mum loves having it away. So she would have loads of fruit in. So everyone's happy.
If she was using an orange for contraception, she would also be giving the kids...
well, you won't waste
so half
it.
the orange she'd give to the kids and half the orange she'd stick up her penny.
Yeah, a treat for everyone. Have a bit of fruit and she's got what she wants. Whereas at the moment, what happens? A burger's not coming in helpful for anyone.
If you want me tonight, pop a sesame seed bone on your cock. Take out the fucking pickle. No one likes the fucking pickle up the fanny. Oh, he's a bloody romantic. He popped a plum roast sausage up my fanny yesterday. He loves me. Oh, no. Right.
Did you know, Karl, that cataract operations on the eye were performed in India as early as 1000 BC? And in Babylonia at the same time, the fees of eye surgeons were rigidly fixed by law and were quite generous. So, for instance, if you're a very rich person, it cost you about 10 shekels. If you're a slave, only 2 shekels. But if the rich person lost the sight of their eye after the surgeon had operated, they would cut off the hand of the doctor.
What? So he gets one chance at it?
Well, he doesn't want to screw up.
Yeah, I know, but everyone's allowed a couple of errors. That's how you learn, isn't it? That's a stupid rule. But then again, I don't know why they'd be so worried about their eyes back then.
What do you mean?
Well, there was less to look at back then.
What do you mean?
Well, like that, I saw a fellow on the tube on the way here today who was blind, proper fully on blind.
Blind?
Now, for him, I just was like, oh, it's so depressing.
Right.
So much to see in the world now. Loads of stuff.
Right.
Art, buildings, and all that. Now, back then, if these people did have sight once, the pyramids, you remember it in your head, and that's enough. There wasn't loads of clutter anyway. It was all sand, so even if you fell over because you're blind, at least you landed on something soft. Whereas now, it's rubbish being blind. Stairs, loads and loads of people, loads of curves and things. It's not a good time to be blind. So I prefer, if it's going to be blind, be blind back when Tutankhamun was not.
That's a choice that people have that are blind now.
No.
If you're going to be blind back when Tutankhamun was knocking about.
But all I'm saying...
Sorry, Doctor, I didn't realise there was a choice.
Oh, yeah. If you'd already told me you were going blind, I'd have said, well, let's get you back 3,000 years.
It just seems a bit harsh, that's all. When someone's trying to help you and operate on your eyes, and they have a little bit of a slip-up, like we all do in jobs, you have a bad day, and he has to have his hands cut off. Then who's helping him? Who puts the hand back on him? And if they don't put the hand back on him right, do they have something done to them?
They're blinded.
Well, it just seems like a no-win situation. I wouldn't be a doctor, and maybe that's why there aren't enough doctors about now, because of things like that put people off.
I don't think so.
Well, I wouldn't be a doctor now.
Why?
Look at the hassle that happens now. You're being watched all the time. You're not allowed to slip up.
Right.
Well, that's generally quite a good rule, isn't it, that doctors don't make mistakes?
No, but you've got to... I'd say at the end of the day, it's a complicated job. I'd get more annoyed when, say like the fella I've got round coming to fix my boiler. The fact he keeps having a go, he keeps charging me 80 quid, he don't really fix it.
Is it still not working?
I haven't cut his hands off.
No.
He keeps coming back. I'm a bit short of money, let's go round to the Pilkington household. Charging 80 quid again. No, it's Christmas, let's pop round twice. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a doctor who's trying to help people, it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
If he makes a mistake now and again, I think, well, it's bound to happen. It's complicated.
Can't you see where I agree with you that people make mistakes, and I imagine there are good and bad doctors. They try and even that out by it being a very, very obviously stringent exam, and
It's 11 years they've got to do. I've read up on it. 11 years it takes to be a doctor.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It takes 7.
No, but then they've got to be in hospital or something for 4 years before they get to play with someone.
Right, okay, yeah.
So that's ages. You're going to get bored. You're going to get bored.
But that's it. They really do try and rule out, and there's still chance and mistake, and don't forget, you're given nearly impossible tasks still in medicine. Just think of the risk with transplants alone. And they're getting better and better at those, and they're lasting longer.
But the fact of the matter is, it's better to have a go, innit, than not have one. If someone said to me, I need a new heart, we're going to do it.
Well, if they say you're going to die anyway, let's try this new thing, you might as well. But then there are some things that there's not worth the risk. When someone, it goes wrong, someone's facial surgery goes wrong because they wanted plumper lips or a little nose, okay, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You shouldn't even be doing that. Doctors shouldn't even be allowed to do that.
I don't know why. I really don't know why a doctor under a Hippocratic oath takes the risk of something going badly wrong. Sometimes general anaesthetic because they can't be bothered to fucking go for a run, right? So they have fucking bits sliced off and tied up and sucked out. I want to go, you lazy fucking fat pig. Just go for a run and stop eating burgers, right? You might fucking die.
Well, can I just stop you there, Rick? Because actually, if it weren't for a plump patient, the stethoscope would never have been invented.
What, because he couldn't hear?
Yeah, the person who invented the stethoscope, Dr. René Laennec, couldn't have a very fat patient come in and couldn't hear her heart through the blubber.
But then that's the sign of the problem. I mean, that's the sign of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, rather than saying, hang on, let's get a bigger chair in for her because she's got a fat arse, I'd say, well, you're not welcome here. If you can't get through the door, well, I'm not seeing you. I mean, if you've got a doctor who's having his hands cut off because he messed up an operation, yet fatty's coming in and getting special treatment, I wouldn't give them time of day. You see, this is what I'm saying, right? This is going right back to what I was saying at the beginning. The problem is, we've got pills for everything, and all this is doing is making people treat the body badly. Because you're going, be alright, there'll be something.
It's funny, isn't it, that like these tests, they go, well, let's have a look. It's what we were talking before about weighing kids. If they can't get through the door to get to school, you don't know. If they go, oh, I'm just going to take a sample of your stool. Actually, I don't. You're too fat. Your shit's come out like tagliatelle. Your ass is too fucking fat. Stop eating your gut.
I'm going to take a sample of your stool. What, the one you fucking broke when you sat down?
I just think this is the problem. You know, we can do too much, and because of this, people are going, I don't care about my body. They worry more about the plasma telly getting a scratch on it than they do about their own body.
Exactly.
And if we stopped giving them tablets willy-nilly, they'd have to look after the body more.
Willy-nilly is one of the worst diseases in the Western world, of course. Now, medicine is the art or science of healing, and that doesn't always have to be a drug or a surgery. I mean, bedside manner has a lot to do with things, and also it's all about care as well. We mustn't just forget that some people don't need medicine, they just need help. For example, there are people that help disabled people have intercourse, where they can't, you know, maybe get on to the woman herself, and there's someone that actually helps the man put in his penis to the woman's vagina. They leave the room. What?
I've never even heard of this.
It's true. Absolutely true. They're helpers.
Yeah, no, I believe that is the case.
Yeah. And that's just as needed as anything that might cure
It's not, that's pleasure.
Yeah, so what are you saying, because you can't walk or move, that you can't love someone and want to share that love?
I'm just saying it's not a priority.
Well, no, but they're going to live, they're healthy apart from their disability. Admit someone, they want to, you know, consummate this love, and someone helps them out and goes, well, you know, that's part of my job.
No, it's not part of the job.
Well, it is part of this job, because that's their job.
I have never heard anyone say, oh, I've had a right day today.
Why?
I've been playing with Arthur's tackle all day.
They don't play with Arthur's tackle, they pop Arthur's tackle in Hilda's vagina.
I don't think they do.
They do!
How can they enjoy that? I mean, maybe once, and they'd go, that didn't work, did it? I didn't enjoy that, Hilda.
No.
How can they enjoy it? The nurse stood there.
They don't. They help her in. She helps Arthur in, or he, might be a male nurse, pops Arthur in, goes, OK, Arthur, I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, goes outside.
But what's the point, though, in that?
Why?
Because it's all about the mood and everything. He's just stuck onto like a stag beetle clinging onto a leaf. There's no enjoyment in that.
Oh, the well-known stag beetle copulating with a leaf syndrome.
No, but I'm not saying...
That's the one-known position in the Garden syndrome.
He knows it, you know, I think it's a lovely act, and someone's willing to... Wouldn't you help someone in it?
Definitely not.
No? What? So, no, so the guy goes, oh, this is my wife. We both say, well, I can't, you know, can you just pop me in, Carl? You're the only, you know, you're the only person around.
No, I don't think it's important.
But there are people...
What do you mean you don't think it's important enough?
I'd be happy to go round, put the washing on for them, make the bed. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, I'd love one. There you go. Oh, just before you go, forget it. If they asked me to do that, I'd quit. And I don't think it happens, because people wouldn't take that on for a job. You never hear about it. On Comic Relief, when they're raising money, they don't go, thanks to Midland Bank for this £100 grand, that's going to go towards Arthur getting his end away.
That's ridiculous. So you would rather them not have the pleasure of each other than just help them in?
No, because they'd work out some way that they could do something for each other. I went to play the guitar, my fingers aren't long enough. I knocked it on the head. It's the same thing. If you can't do it, don't do it.
So are you telling me, right, okay, supposing there's a little fella who's got no arms, no legs, right?
Right.
Little Bob, okay, there he is. All right, Carl, right? He's got a friend, another little fella with no arms and no legs. All right, Carl. Right? They love each other. Two little fellas. Two little dwarves with no arms and no legs. Okay? Lovely little fellas. They get married. Okay?
Yeah, Carl, you can't put my penis up my my boyfriend's bottom, can you?
No, I can't, no.
Why not? Why
Do you need anything else doing?
No, I'm fine, yeah.
No, it's weird how you can manage everything else.
Well, no.
I'm here to help you, everything else seems to be sorted.
Well, just in the
Why do
chair.
you need help in this department?
Well, because he's over there and I'm it, and I was just, if you just pop me in and just
No,
leave
I'm not
it
doing that, it's not good for you. You've lost your arms and legs, you'll be losing that soon if you carry on sticking up there.
Well, after the medical advancements of the Greeks and the Romans, of course, through the Middle Ages, particularly in Europe, we ended up going backwards. And it became, people sort of returned to superstition, started relying on that. Sanitation was poor. A lot of the amazing sanitation the Romans had built was left to ruin, and we went backwards. And really, it wasn't until the Renaissance that people like Leonardo da Vinci started to, draw pictures of the anatomy and so on.
Well, putting scientific evidence and experimentation behind the theories, as opposed to someone with a big cauldron saying, if you bury a toad, your warts go away.
Exactly.
He looked into this and then thought, well, maybe they don't. Maybe it's a coincidence, So that's where experimentation comes. Empirical evidence, not just hope.
Of course, you still couldn't experiment or dissect humans because that was frowned upon. So often they would actually, the only people they were allowed to dissect and operate on were criminals. And at times, criminals would actually be dissected or cut open whilst they were still alive as part of their punishment. Is that ever justifiable? Do you think, Karl, that people sacrifice for medical advancements?
They do it now, don't they? You hear about these people having, tests done on them. You get paid 20 quid and they say, let's rub this cream on your head.
Yeah.
And you get your 20 quid, and if your head goes funny, they say, well, you took the 20 quid, it's your own fault.
Wasn't that a student that took a few grand?
He became a living elephant man, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
It was quite horrific. His head was in all kinds of weird shapes.
I mean, that's unfortunate for 20 quid. But I'd say do it on the ill people, because they've got nothing to lose. Just test it. It's, all this testing on animals and that. Well, don't test it on animals. If you've got an itch, the doctor can say, we've got this cream here, we haven't tested it, it might work, it might make it worse, give it a go.
Right.
Yeah, but the whole point is that if you do that, someone's head might blow up to the side of the
it
head.
might outweigh the ailment.
That's happened already. A fella who had nothing wrong with him has now got a head of the elephant man for 20 quid.
It's really painful. Come on, sorry, carry on.
I Save My Book's got 300 pages in it, a few pictures and that.
It's a picture book. That's the great thing about Karl's life. It's a book for children.
It's a pop-up book, and it just every page he pops in, he goes. All right.
I'm probably on page about 170.
Yeah.
He's going to die at 74. He's reading a book with a few pictures in with 300 pages, and he's on 170. Go on then.
So, if the book was too thick, right, and there was loads more pages...
Let me tell you, this book is way too thick.
Yeah. If the book was more thick, yeah.
The book could not be thicker.
If there was loads more pages left, I'd go, I can't be bothered reading on.
Right. Okay, let him finish the analogy.
He doesn't know that when he saw the book.
We've got to finish this analogy, otherwise we're going to be here all night.
Listen, he must have known how many pages there were when he got the book out of the library.
Yeah, but the way they write books, they paint in pictures more at the beginning, you're going, this is good, and then it gets a bit boring as it goes on, doesn't it?
Okay, well that works. So you're saying that you were young...
No, it doesn't work. Well, you just accepted that that's what all books are like.
No, but there's a little bit of poetry in that, because he's actually saying that when he was young, his whole life was ahead of him. He couldn't wait the whole world, the promise that he was given of this world. And now he's a bit jaded and he's more cynical, and he realises that the world hasn't got as much to offer him as he thought it was. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Liar.
Well, Rick, you're not the only one who's been away. I know you've been off working, but I, at long last, have taken a bit of leisure time.
Go on.
And you've probably heard of the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. Only one of the hottest, events in the world calendar. Yeah. Imagine me down there.
Oh,
Rio, you can imagine, did not know what hit it.
God almighty. Were you like Paul the party animal park?
He would not have been able to keep up if he was with me.
God, what did you do? What did you get up to?
Oh, let me tell you right now. Day one, I almost drowned. Day two, I got a foot infection and spent the day in the hospital. And the rest of the time, I had diarrhea.
So that was a hell of a time.
Carnival.
Yeah. I did. I was able to watch some of the carnival on TV, and it looked brilliant. It looked amazing. I didn't actually. It was difficult to make out because the TV wasn't actually in my room. Because in an effort to save money, I wasn't staying in a hotel. I was staying with a bunch of other people in some kind of, like, someone's flat that they'd let out. And so I had to watch the TV, like, from my window, watching a neighbour's TV. And of course, when they change the channel, you know, often during the juicy bits, like continually. And, but they look really good. I'm bummed up at the moment just so I can get to the show. But I've just been on a 12-hour flight, and it is terrifying being on a flight when you know that any moment you could go. Because, you know, the problem is sometimes the toilet's free, and sometimes then you've got to queue up. And the worst bit is that sort of half an hour just before you land, when they say the toilets are out of bounds now. I tell you, I went twice before that in quick succession. The woman sat next to the toilet. She didn't know what was going on, the noises and stuff in there. And because I was really panicky. Oh, Christ. And so of course then on the whole flight, as we're landing, I'm really petrified because I'm thinking I packed a pair of underpants and jeans in the bag in my holdall, just in case it all went. And I was really, because I hate flying anyway, and I hate landing because it's the most terrifying moment of the journey. Then it really was rumbling, and I was thinking, I've got to get out of here. Of course, you know when you're in a hurry, everything makes you angry. The little old lady in front of me who's just hobbling along off the gangplank. Get out of my way! You know, just really annoyed.
With your bad hips and your bad legs.
Zimmer frame.
I know you've been through a war, but get out of my way!
And just anyone who could have even passes you, and so I managed to get there just in time, got into the and it all went off. Man alive, it was grim. But that was not anything compared with the first couple of days. Because the first day I went for a walk, and of course Ipanema Beach is famous. I mean, obviously The Girl from Ipanema, one of the most famous songs in the world, and Ipanema Beach is famous for just the beautiful, beautiful people that gather there, and it is extraordinary. I mean, the people are remarkable. There's so many beautiful women in Rio, it made me angry. I was angry that these women were so attractive and that, you know, none of them were even looking at me. So, but anyway, I'm on the beach because I was shopping and I needed a wee, right? And we went for a quick impromptu swim, and I thought, oh, wee in the sea.
Just think of it! On his beach, right, with diarrhea!
Well, I'm wearing great big long shorts because I'm not going to try and compete with these boys because they
And you are, could I say this, the whitest man I've ever met in my life. Yeah. I mean, with his shirt off, you can see his heart like a newborn fish.
well, this is the thing. As I went into the sea to have a wee, there was a discussion about this.
As I went into the sea to have a wee?
Yeah. Well, I was desperate for a toilet, and I was shopping, so I thought, I'm never going to make it back to the hotel, so I'll go in the sea and have a little swim and
just I see him straining, just like a cat in a litter tray.
See, there was a discussion about this because I'm very much of the opinion that you should take your trunks down, and some people, some of my friends are saying, just do it in your trunks and let the sea just wash it away.
What a hell of a carnival!
And I think I'm against that. I've always been against that in swimming pools, everything, you know.
I'm against pissing in swimming pools. Full stop. It doesn't matter whether you do take your trunks down or don't piss in the swimming pool.
Sea?
Yeah, well, fine. Yeah,
fine, okay, right.
Fish do it.
So anyway, so I'm in the sea trying to urinate, and I kneel because I'm obviously very tall, so it's tricky to get deep enough for the water to mask what you're up to. So I tried to kneel down in the water, right, and I got John Thomas out, but then the water swept out again and just left me on the beach. But luckily my back was to everyone, so no one saw. So I
can't think of a funnier sight than Steve Merchant on his knees with his little John Thomas out. I don't know how big it is. I've never seen it. But I imagine it's in proportion to the rest of it, is it?
I wish. That's all I'll say is I've been a little shortchanged. But so then I got up and I waded a bit deeper in, right? And now I was trying. I got it out. But what I didn't realise is that the waves just off the beach are really just uncontrollable. You never know what's going to happen. So one minute they're calm, and the next minute they're crazy like a tsunami. So suddenly I see this giant wave coming towards me, crashing towards me, and I got the cock out and everything, and it grabs this wave, comes over me, and lifts me up, flips me up in the water, right? And I'm floundering around. I can't see anything because, of course, I had to take my glasses off to go in the sea. Because I didn't want to lose them.
Oh God!
So I floundering around, and I'm genuinely getting scared because as I try to get into shore, the wave just pulls me back again. So I'm waving to my friends on the beach, But
with everything.
Well, what I don't realise is that because I'm not wearing my glasses, I don't realise that I've been dragged along the beach some way, and I'm not actually waving to my friends. So there's like a bunch of these beautiful women on Ipanema Beach watching a pasty white man waving with his cock out. And what annoyed me was my friends were laughing. And that really angers
if
me.
I'd have been there, I would have burst.
But why would you have come running? Would you have come running in and helped me?
Not with your knob out.
What? So even though I was screaming and
I'd
shouting?
have thrown a rope or something, or a dinghy or something. There's no way I'd have. I couldn't have saved you with your glasses off and your knob out. If I ever saved you, I want you to be fully dressed with your glasses on.
So you'd have just let me go. That would have been what you'd said to my parents. He had his knob out and his glasses off. There was no way I was going to...
I can't think of a funnier sight. Oh. Oh, chimpanzee, that is running it down again.
Yeah, this is where we read extracts from Karl's diary. We've had to wrestle it from him. He's never happy, but, that's the way it goes when you're doing a show as popular as this. And I'm going straight now to this entry. My man phone said that my Auntie Nora, classic Auntie Nora, wanted me to look on the internet to find out what the weather will be like in Spain at the end of November. I don't know where she gets her money from. 2 months ago, she was asking me, Dad, how much it would be to get her back garden astroturfed because she's sick and tired of the grass getting out of her.
What does she want to do? Start a football team? What does she want to back garden astroturf?
She likes the sort of green look, but she doesn't like the headache that comes with it, so she's just looking into getting that false grass put in there.
Brilliant.
I don't know how much it is.
Went round to Ricky's and had some chicken curry that Ricky's girlfriend Jane had made. Ricky and Jane were going on holiday for a few days and had arranged for Glyn to come in and make sure the cat was okay while they were away. I'm sick of that cat. I was surprised that they hadn't paid for the little shit to go away with them on first class. Blimey, getting a bit vitriolic in the
why doesn't he like the fact that I've got a cat and I love the cat?
It's just everything in that house that you've got gets sort of special treatment, and it's a cat. And
what do you mean you get special treatment?
Sometimes
we put food down for it, and sometimes it gets on our lap and we stroke it.
You don't just stroke it.
We're not sending it.
You massage its back. You go, no, you're stressed out.
Well, no, it's good. No, I'm not saying you stressed out. At no point did I say you stressed out. You said, "What the fuck are you doing for? Is it stressed out or something?" I like touching my cat.
To be honest with you, I don't like Ricky's cat.
I can't believe
because every time I go around there, it goes straight for my ghoulies. Instantly.
Yeah, he'd probably seen you in the sea and thought, well, if he's waving it about, I'll have a bit of that.
But it's like the lizard thing you've got. He's just sat there. You bought a big box, right, to be in.
Right. One, it's a salamander, right. So it's an amphibian. It's not a box. It's a big Bavarian.
Yeah. But what I'm saying.
And and if you're going to criticise someone for just sitting there, having a round head and doing nothing with its life, people who live in glass houses, we've done this one.
Do you know what gets me though, right, Steve? When I was there, I was looking at it and I thought, is it dead? Right, because he's just sat there. Like,
and then it was thinking exactly the same fucking thing.
Sat there, not moving, right? And then on the top of the box is like a box full of crickets and stuff. That's it. It's its food,
yeah.
Right? But they were more active than the thing that it was going to feed. Get rid of the lizard. Keep them in there. More entertaining. Don't understand it.
A few months back, a girl who was having a kid showed me one of them scans of the kid that was in her. That's science gone mad, innit? I couldn't think of anything nice to say, as it looked like a frog.
Do you know why we've got to that point? What? Why have we got to see something that young? Why?
Because people can keep an eye on the progress of the baby in the womb.
Yeah, but why are they printing it out and stuff? Surely that's for a doctor to see.
Well, that's just an added bonus for people who are interested in such things.
Well, that's like saying, why do you take pictures of anything?
No, because normally pictures are like, you in Brazil, sat in the sea or whatever. You go, oh yeah, I remember that day, it was a good day or whatever. But
wasn't.
It's just kind of like, why have you got to see something? You might as well.
Well, you just listen. Why have you got to see something that small? So why would you take a picture of Steve in the sea?
No, but what I mean is, why? At what point are we going to stop? Are we going to start sort of X-raying the fella's testicles and saying, well, there it is at a really young age? Well, where are we going to stop?
It's just horses for courses, isn't it? Some people like to have a record of their baby in the womb. They like to show the baby. They're excited about it.
They sit down and they show the friends the slideshow. That's the birth. Oh, that's the conception. Oh, look, Ron's going a bit mad there, isn't he?
But why do I need to see this? This is what I'm saying. It was an awkward situation because she was happy with it. I was like, Oh, God. You know what I mean? It was an odd-looking thing. I couldn't say, oh, it looks like you, because that would be a diss.
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag. There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus.
What hummus? When did that happen?
What do you mean? It's still going. It's a Greek traditional food.
I know, but there's a restaurant down the road that's all they do. That isn't a proper meal. That's a side order, isn't it? That's like having a restaurant just flogging tomato ketchup. Hummus isn't a meal. They don't even try and kid you and get you in and flog you just hummus. They could actually say for hummus today. Not going to work. They shut down within a month.
Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain. Yeah, that's a hell of a phone call.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay. Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
I didn't tell you that.
No, I looked it up after talking to you.
Oh, right. Is that true?
Yeah, they just said there's loads of them.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
It's a bit daft, isn't it?
What do you think they should do then?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders wouldn't be good.
Who says that?
I don't know, someone. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it would have an effect.
Not everything, no. Like I've said, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
The world wouldn't change.
Well, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, it would, because it's part of an ecosystem, so they're something's food, aren't they?
No, but it's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. That's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
The rain ain't stopped. The old woman with the bent neck. Now, we've not heard about the old woman with the bent neck before. She's a
bent neck. What's this? Incredible.
She's really old.
And she's got a bent neck, yeah, but tell us something else.
I don't know what's up with her, but her head sort of comes out of here.
Look, it's radio. They can't see what you're doing.
It comes out of her chest. So from behind it looks like she hasn't got an head. It's really weird, right? I mean, she's old and I don't know what's happened. Just Suzanne said it's sad and the bones had sort of bent up or something, or maybe she carried something heavy when she was younger.
On her head.
And, I don't know, it's sad and everything.
Yeah.
But she's wandering up and down the street, always looks fed up, but you can see her, you have to sort of bend down a little bit. But her head's just, I thought I told you about it.
She finds a lot of change.
Yeah, I said, yeah.
Well, as you write in the diary, the old woman with the bent neck is struggling in the weather. The rain must be running down her back. Don't know why she went out in this weather. Me back's doing me head in today. It does this every time the weather turns a bit grim, ever since I tried to kick me height. Oh, remember that? We've heard this before. Kicked me height and landed on me arse. Was going to treat Suzanne to a trip to the pictures to see Breakback Mountain, but then remembered there is a programme on about two-headed kid tonight.
What two-headed kid?
It's just a two-headed kid knocking about. And I just wanted to watch that.
What do you mean, a two-headed kid?
It was something on the telly. I only saw the beginning. I thought, oh, it seems a bit heavy, this.
The programme about the kid with two heads was a bit sad. They never go into the good sides of these stories. I asked Suzanne what happens if they sit an exam. She said she didn't know.
So, Rockbusters, you gave out 3 clues last week. Have we got a winner?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this was the first person to email in, but you pointed something out, didn't you? That we're going to do it this week, the first person, but we think maybe it shouldn't be the first person because some people are up in the world when this comes up and some people aren't up in the world. So we're just going to pick one at random next week. So you've got the whole week, but we're going to pick one at random. But this is the first one we got with all the right answers.
The first one with the right answers, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, give us the clues and the answers.
Right, so last week's clues, there was 3 of them. I'll give you initial of an artist or a band, a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
You work it out, you email it in, you win a signed picture and that. First one was, well, I don't want a house that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it.
Go on.
Right, so that was B.
Yeah.
That's, that was Beyonce. Beyonce. Like, it's like a cryptic thing. You got that? Second one.
I'm stunned.
Beyonce.
That part of my leg is English. The initial was B. That was Britney. Right?
Britney.
Yeah, so it's like British. Britney.
But so you're just taking the one half of her name, are you then?
Well, she's known as that now. I think she's known more as Britney than Britney Spears. They don't really call her that anymore.
Also, British isn't the same as English.
Yeah, I know. I realised that, but it was too late.
Brilliant. That's what you're up against.
Just like that one Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
The last one was, the initials were KW.
Yeah.
And the clue was, the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment, right? So you've got to sort of think about that. You've got to think about the fitness teacher.
Yeah.
He's working out and that.
Yeah.
He's got a speech impediment. So when it like comes to like.
Well, no, you didn't say all this in the clues.
But no. Well, but it was just that one was Kanye West, right?
Kanye West.
So I'm just saying.
Why would the fitness teacher say Kanye West?
Because he's got a speech impediment and he's been working him out. They've built up a sweat. He's like, right.
Well, no, you didn't say all that, so it doesn't matter.
But anyway, even if that is the case, what is he saying?
He's saying, all right, can we rest now?
As in, can we rest now?
Yeah, just kind of, because they say that at the end. It's like, right, everybody.
So he's got a speech impediment. He's very, very camp, and he's adding words. Okay, but apart from that, it works perfectly. So, that is bollocks. You're an idiot.
So that was the first 3.
Who won?
It was Gwymlyn Hal Jones.
Right, let me have a look at that name. There's no such name as Gwymlyn. What is Gwymlyn?
Is it something from Lord of the Rings?
Gwillem, Hugh Jones. Okay, and a signed photo of us is on the way to him. Lucky you. I don't know why he wants that, but well done, he got the clue. I don't know if that's a good thing or not to get the clues, but there it is. Well, there you go. So we're going to do some clues for next week?
Yeah, right. Again, same sort of system. 3 of them email in, and we'll pick one at random. Right, first one, the initials RP.
Right.
And the cryptic clue.
Not cryptic, go on.
Steal that woman's flower. Right? If you're gonna like make a.
Well, no, it's different now. What is it? If it's a cryptic clue.
Let him finish it.
What is the clue? What is the clue and stick to it?
Steal that woman's flower.
Fine. Okay.
RP.
Right. Okay.
Right. Second one, B.
Is that the clue or the initial?
B is the initial, right? And cryptic clue. Keep whacking the cooker with a stick. What is it? It's a band or an artist. Kept whacking the cooker with some sort of.
What is it? Keep
stick.
or kept? What's it? If it's cryptic clue, everything matters. So.
Well, it doesn't really. Just think about whacking.
Well, no. Give us the clue again.
Just whack the cooker.
No, what is the clue? Do the clue. Okay, do the clue. This is the clue, and the only right. No, wait. The initial is B, and the clue is.
Keep whacking the cooker with a stick.
Right, fine.
But it doesn't have to be a stick, though. It
Well,
could
no.
be like it could be any sort of.
Well, okay, then let's do the clue again. Then. Okay, so the initial is B. What's the clue?
Keep whacking the cooker.
Fine.
The last one, the initial M, and then the clue is Venice. It's all water, isn't it? Right? How would you describe it, right? When
Jesus Christ. Is this the what?
Let's finish the clue! I want to go home, I haven't slept, I just come back from Rio.
He might never finish the clue. It keeps going. It's full of water. Oh, well, I need a stick. You use your hand if you want. Well, no, that was B. No. I mean, he might never finish.
Oh, right. No, I can't interrupt him.
What's the initial?
M.
What's the clue?
Venice. It's all water. There's hardly any land, so how would you describe it?
Okay.
I think that sort of works. M is the artist or a band. Email in podcast@rickygervais.com and we'll pick one at random. Win some stuff.
Well, that's the end of episode 2 in this second series of the Ricky Gervais Show. So it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Oi!
and...
Sorry, I just want to explain why that's a greeting in Brazil.
Is it?
You see someone, hey!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't just the me.
Why is your knob out when you're shouting at waving
Yeah,
at
that's
me?
why I did it. You see what was going on?
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this programme.
Hello, welcome to the third in this new series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
All right.
We've had loads of emails. Thank you for those. Sorry we can't reply to them all personally, but keep them coming, some interesting ones. There's one in particular here from a guy who says, I see there is less swearing now you're charging for the podcast. Dumbing down already, question mark.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
I don't know how that's dumbing down.
Well, no, not swearing. That's interesting. Not swearing is dumbing down. And also, the fact that he's complaining that we're not swearing enough.
Yeah.
What sort of a cunt would bother writing that email?
I don't know, mate. I don't know, but I know he's just some kind of fucking cocksucker.
What have you got, Danny?
Well, now, of course, a couple of weeks back you gave the rather long-winded but fascinating sort of brain teaser, conundrum, philosophical question about the heaven and hell doors.
I know.
And there's been a number of responses to
I know.
Explain your error.
Well, I got it. I realised as soon as we put it out there that I should have said, assume no prior knowledge. Otherwise, you can just say, hold up a cat and say, is this a dog? Or you can say, what's my name? But they don't know anything about you. That's the thing. They only know about themselves. And I should have said that.
Yeah. So are you willing to just now say that you've embarrassed yourself?
I've embarrassed myself. I should have said, it's got to be about, it's only about the, you can ask questions.
Well, do you know what? It's a bigger man than many that can admit that mistake.
Or a man that's banged to rights and obviously caught out and has no choice.
Well, it's quite interesting to wade through the emails and find out the kind of people that are listening, get a sense of the different listeners. And I know you, Rick, have met some of the big celebrity names that have listened to the show, and it's sort of because you've actually met them. But it's, now we've got celebrities who are just emailing in, just letting us know. This one is from a guy called Aaron. He says, my name's Aaron Douglas.